been there and people would be yelling at me while I'm on stage, like screaming. Like these niggas aren't even heckling. You know, heckling is a certain level of respect. Like I seen, bro, real story, real fucking story. A dude was watching porn. Like somebody and walked, bro. Wow, the comics were up on stage. Like
this nigga's hard. That's crazy,
bro.
What type of porn was it?
I don't know.
You didn't watch it with him?
I didn't watch it with him. What would I ask?
Well, if it's
You didn't pull the chair?
Yeah, I walked by and I just saw naked people. I'm like, wow, that's
Wow.
That's what's happening.
Kudos
and
to
then
him,
the crazy part is I got on stage and outed him. I outed him. Did not move. He stayed there and finished the shit. He's like,
then they got hype.
The Elton John jumpers that these motherfuckers were wearing, they're like head to toe.
Everyone with them, bro.
So wait, sorry. Elton John. Who else was performing? Oh, sorry.
So Canucks game, Elton John, and then you said that the black rapper.
Rex Life something.
Rex Life. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's like does R&B. I don't think.
Is it Rex Life? That's his name. Yeah. So there's
Devin,
3, and I think there was one more, to be honest.
Oh boy.
Damn.
Where's the
poppin'.
what's the place in front of Belmont or the theater? Isn't that the theater right
Commodore?
there? Not on Granville. It's like on the side street, like on the same street as Hotel Belmont.
There's so many names like Belmont.
I don't know. Anyway, I think there was at least 3, probably 4. So like shit was crazy. So as soon as 10 o'clock hit and you're not allowed to park in the taxi zone anymore, they were just taking cars like fucking.
I hate towing companies, bro. They enjoy that shit too much.
Bro, they had like 4 fucking towing cars just going like you're here, load up, boom. They
For everything or just for the tow?
For everything. Come right back, start, and everyone's at the concert.
Yeah, they have no idea.
I take that.
Yeah.
I'll send you the bill if you want. You send me your bill. I'll pay yours. You pay mine.
No, the 700. Nah.
But then that was
cars,
2 weeks
fucking
because I
fishing.
get my
Just like,
own
yeah.
easy.
Oh,
So
that's
so much money.
That's fucked up.
I would rather just know it's coming, bro. It's just the fact that like
See,
my
that's
car
the thing.
wasn't
It's like
started.
it fucked because I was telling him I was like, bro, like you know when you get a bill and you're expecting, you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm not gonna dick
That's
around.
different. Like you could plan for
When
it.
it's just like out of no, I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm like
So how much was it
260.
total?
Yeah.
And you had that post. He had that post toe hype.
Jesus.
You know that post toe hype where he was pissed off. He's like, I'm fucking gonna. I gotta fucking dispute this. I'm not fucking. And then now it's like settled in a bit. A couple days go by. He's like, all right.
It's not worth going in, man. I had my car towed by accident one time.
By accident.
Yeah, because
That could fuck your day up.
actually, first of all,
That could fuck your day up.
Yeah, it cheesed me out because I was at work and I'd paid for my parking spot, and then I don't know what the fucking guy was doing. Towed my vehicle, and I called the towing company. Be like, hey. I just assumed they towed it because that was just a normal assumption because no one just steals cars.
Yeah,
You know what I
especially in
mean?
Vancouver.
I'm like, what the fuck? I called the towing company. They're like, we don't have your vehicle here. I'm like, the fuck you mean you don't have my vehicle here? I'm like, I called again. I'm like, are you sure? Like, my car is not here. And the towing company, I did see the tow truck here at this time, but I didn't think you guys would tell me because I paid.
Yeah.
They're like, it's not here. So obviously I had to call the cops. I called the cops. I'm like, I think my car's been stolen. And then I placed the whole report, and I don't know what it is. I'm like, you know what, fuck it. Let me go check the towing company because it's like super close to TD where I used to work. Go check. And then these guys are like, we don't have your car. I'm like, are you sure you don't have my fucking car? Like, I mean, there's no one steals cars, man. As I'm walking out, I look into the fucking parking garage, and my car is parked across. I go back inside, I'm like, nigga, my car is right there. Like, it has Alberta plates. Like, there's not a lot of Corollas with Alberta plates on it. You know what I mean? And he's like, well, what's your license plate? Types it in, he's like, it's not here. I'm like, obviously, nigga, there's something going on.
Yeah, no, they do that even with mine. So when I got it,
Yeah, he was taking a minute. I was like, yo, can I dip? Because I had to drive him to the fucking thing. He's taking forever inside. I was like, yo, am I good to go? What's up? He's like, oh, they lost my paperwork.
What?
they fucked it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. They fucked it up when they were putting it in.
I don't know how
and I'm
you
like,
Probably a busy night of towing that.
That's
night.
it. They were just throwing
was,
papers in the
but
back.
Yeah.
Figure it out. I'm going to get another one.
Like, people don't talk about towing guys who can fuck up also. You know what I mean? They people fuck up
Yeah,
in
100%.
all works of jobs.
It ruins your day. Imagine coming
yeah.
outside, you're like fucking have a schedule, got to pick up the kids, something, and all of a sudden your whip's gone.
I don't pay in park. I've never paid in park. Like, ever since that day.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care.
I don't pay at these bullshit fucking like Lougheed and Brentwood and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like West Park.
No.
I'll pay that sometimes, but if I plan to stay for like 2 hours. But if it's like 30 minutes, an hour, I'm not paying.
Change your license plate.
That's it. And then it's not even government. They won't go against your driver's
Exactly.
license.
Change your license plate.
Yeah, that's it. So you're good to go. But if you accumulate, same with UBC. When I went to UBC, that's not government. It's just UBC. It's like they'll give you like 9, 10 tickets, and then they'll tow your shit. And they won't give you your whip back.
Look, listen, those tickets, $100. $100.
Yeah.
Change your plates, $70. Stay up, man.
Stay up.
You know what I mean? Fuck them. You know what I mean? I don't pay tickets. Ever since I heard that you can
Alright,
just
is it
change your
on?
license plate,
Yeah,
It's been
I
on
don't
this whole
pay
time?
tickets
Yeah.
no more.
All right, it's been on this whole time.
I have the most wanted vehicle in the city. I tell you that. They have meetings with my car. Just like, you see this nigga? If you see this nigga's car, throw it on site.
Well, Ola, thank you for coming, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
How's
He's the reason why it's raining outside.
How's the tour?
The tour? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
tell us about the tour. Where'd you go?
Oh man, I've been all over this beautiful country of ours. I've been to Toronto. I've been from coast to coast pretty much. The tour's been amazing. It's been life changing. Quite frankly, it's just been kind of go, and it's just like it feels like it happens so fast. And I'm back home. You know what I mean?
Is it over now?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. I'm chilling
Oh yeah, okay.
for a while.
So where'd you go in the country?
Montreal, Toronto. I went to obviously I was in Alberta for quite some time. Edmonton, pretty much all of Alberta. Where else? Victoria. I'm trying to think. Everything just blurs right in.
Yeah, right. Just fucking go.
Yeah.
So it's so funny because I seen because I follow Gary Vee and then
Yeah.
there's that Nemez guy.
Yes,
he,
yes.
does the jokes. So like that's when I first started hearing about him. Is he
Yeah.
from Toronto?
He's from
Yeah,
Toronto.
he's
Yeah.
from Toronto.
There you go. I
Yeah.
know that.
Toronto
He's funny,
mans.
man. He's fucking funny. And then I saw you doing a show with him too. That's
Yeah, he was in town, bro. Like, and he has such a crazy Iranian like following, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was honestly, it was inspirational to see. Like, I mean, you talk about me doing on tour. This guy is definitely like where we all want to be. Kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he went through the entire country, selling out his own like theaters by himself. To talk about people who didn't do without the industry, because
Yeah.
again, I'm in the industry. I got to do my work, you know, with comedy clubs, but like these are like people who are coming specifically for him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So honestly, seeing what he was doing from coast to coast, that was so impressive. Like the York Theater at Commercial Drive, I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Sits about 400 people.
Yeah.
Sold the shit out twice.
There you go.
It's crazy.
That's what's
Shout
up.
out Nima.
But you know what's crazy? I watched the interview he did. Like, he's like, there's still a lot of like Iranians who don't fuck with him too.
Yeah.
Who just hate on him like and troll him all the time, which is so wild.
There's
You're
always
always
gonna be
gonna get
haters.
that.
Yeah,
You're
there's always
always
gonna be
gonna
haters.
get
Who gives
that.
a fuck, man?
Yeah,
like
who
this,
cares?
this
He's
brother
winning.
walked in there, sold out 400 seater at $30 per ticket. Who the fuck's winning?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
shows?
2 shows, bro.
Yeah,
And he did that in 2 nights. Who gives a fuck what you think about me then? Like the hell?
Yeah.
He's killing it.
So
what
I
are they
haven't
doing?
I haven't seen his stand up. Like I seen like because I follow him on TikTok and
Yeah.
I've seen his skits and stuff like that. Like that.
Yeah.
How's the stand up?
I mean, if you like Russell Peters, honestly, he does like the racial like accent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that's your vibe, like he kills it. Like this guy's accent's honestly on point.
Yeah.
Like he made a big name for himself through like obviously like online content
Yeah,
and
yeah.
playing different characters, and you see all of that on stage. So like the people who enjoy his live content his online content come to see him live, and they're satisfied, bro. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think
Yeah.
I like because I love his online stuff.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
he
this
did, like,
Asian
David
accent?
Goggins.
Oh, Jesus
His
Christ.
Goggins one is hilarious. He's good, man. He's funny.
Dude, a good Asian accent, not coming from an Asian sometimes, kills me. Man, it's just, I hate to say it, but it fucking murders me. he did it on stage. I'm like, this brother's not even scared of being canceled. That's where we want to be.
Yeah, Chappelle's fucking Asian accents. That's the way it first started. I was like, oh my god, hilarious. So in terms of your shows, like, are you taking a break, or are you just going right back to it? Like,
break?
tour's over, but now you're just back to practicing material.
No breaks right now, man. Basically, the tour was to work on my next album. I'm currently working on my album right now. So I'm still doing shows in the city, and I'm like doing like weekend trips, but like I'm not going on a long tour.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of breaks, I've tried to learn how to like take Saturday afternoons off, because this entire year I've just been like work, content. But like, yeah, I'm just working on my next album right now.
Yeah. So did you film the special?
The film is special?
Well, did you film as you were traveling? Like,
Oh
during the
yes,
tour?
yes, so much content.
Yeah.
And again,
You start vlogging and shit.
yeah, I started vlogging. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And that's why I started learning about videos and cuts and
Editing and all that
editing and shit, and getting mad at videographers because y'all niggas are assholes. I'm gonna go out right and say it. If you're a videographer watching this, I understand your work is a lot of work because I'm doing it now, but you don't need to charge that much. Shit. The busting niggas balls. I'm like,
Bro.
hey, listen, we're not all famous here. We're not all rich.
Have you got your quote for your wedding photographer yet?
Oh, brother.
Oh, just you wait, bro.
Just wait. Dog. I can't even remember, to be honest. She just
Please
she
tell me a
took care of it.
benchmark.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Just so far, the planning has just been everything has just been hella expensive, and it's like I hear the number and my brain just blocks it out. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah. So where are you guys doing it? Where are you doing the wedding?
We are doing it at the Hilton in Richmond, I believe.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that we're renting the hall over there,
Yeah.
and the prices are very terrifying. Food is very
expensive.
Yeah, right now the food is like I believe $65 a head, and we have like 200 people, 250 people coming. So them numbers are sitting at like 12,000.
I think ours might have been around there, either 65 or 70 a head.
You get to pick your own menu?
Yeah, we sat down, picked the whole menu.
You get to bring your own liquor?
Honestly, I was thinking about bringing liquor in there, but then the numbers for liquor don't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I've said bring your own liquor. Bring your own. I'm gonna put at the bottom. BYOB.
No, you can't have a wedding.
Hey man, I'm religious anyways.
Bar or loony bar or something, man.
No. Like listen, I thought about it, and you know, my mom was like, "Oh, I'm Christian. We shouldn't have alcohol at the wedding," and I was going back and forth. Like, Mom, we need to have booze. And then I saw the number for booze. I'm like, Mom, I think you got a point. I think you have a point. No one's drinking at this wedding. We're all gonna stay sober.
They wouldn't let us bring our own in because obviously it makes sense. They want to do everything and like get the bag.
I'm not saying to hold a fucking 2-6 walking in.
No, but like you can what we were planning on doing was going to like the duty free.
Yeah.
And then just like loading up and then just bringing it there, and then we'll pay them to like make the drinks and pour the shots or whatever. But then at least like the bottles are a lot cheaper.
Question about duty free. Like when you say duty free, I've never really understood what they mean by duty free. Like it still costs money, right? Yeah. But like how much cheaper is it?
It's a lot cheaper. Okay. But that's why they limit you to how much you can get. So like you have to be in the States for like 48 hours to get like.
Oh, over at the States. Okay, gotcha. Because when you're in Canada,
through too.
Okay. Because I've been at the airport and I've seen those alcohol bottles and be like, oh, duty free. I'm like, this shit is still expensive, man. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's not as expensive. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay.
Because once it's in like the retail stores, they can like put the little tag on it.
Okay, to be fair.
It is noticeably cheaper, especially when you buy large quantities. If you buy like one bottle, two bottles, you'll save like $5-7 or whatever. Yeah. But then once you like accumulate, you're getting like 20-25 bottles for like an event.
I feel you, man. Because right now with the guest list, how big was your wedding?
It was small because it was at Bricks and Mortar. So Bricks and Mortar can only hold, I believe, like 80, 85.
That sounds beautiful.
Comfortably. Yeah, but that's what we wanted. We wanted something like a little more intimate. Because like you never want to go to the wedding and like be like talking to people that you never really had a relationship with, where it's like, oh, night, or if you're meeting them the first time at the wedding, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That I didn't want to happen. So like at least I knew everybody, whether it was like my wife's parents' friends, like I kind of had seen them already prior to. But like when you have like 300 people at a wedding, there's no way you know all 300.
That's a lot of people, man.
That's a lot of fucking people,
I'm sitting there like we're running numbers, and I'm just like. But the thing is, it sucks because when I look at the list of people coming through, I'm like, these people are the people that need to be there. We just
100%.
We just happen to have a big family, man. Because my mom was like saying names and like uncles. I'm like, man, it'd be pretty tough to tell that uncle he can't come.
Yeah. Cutting list.
Yeah, man, the cutting list is tough, man.
Tough.
I told my parents 50.
I didn't make the list.
50. Will you make the list?
I didn't make the list.
What are you talking about?
His list.
Oh, shit.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yo, chill, man.
Well, no, I'm just throwing it out there.
Why do you even need to throw? Stanley made the list.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that adds to my point, actually. That
you made my list.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Just some fun facts to throw out there.
No, so see, you're gonna have to have conversations like this too when there's niggas like this bringing that shit up. Oh man, like, yo, I wasn't on his list. I don't even feel bad though that he wasn't on the list. I wish he would have been.
It was 80 though. Like it makes sense. Like he was cutting pretty lean.
Providence or fucking like an aunt or an uncle. Sorry, Prov, you getting cut this time, my nigga.
I got 10
came to the after party. That was legit.
I got 10 groomsmen.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, man. But I mean, those were the dudes that were invited anyway. So I'm like, you're just gonna wear a suit and we're gonna line up, take photos. It's not really that pressed, you know what I mean? It's not anything. Because when I figure out the etiquette for groomsmen, I mean, these niggas are gonna be sitting down watching anyways. So like,
it goes by fast. That's
you might as well just stand beside me.
No, I mean the whole day, like the whole event. Like make sure like you're there. You're in the moment.
No. I want it to be over.
Yeah. Do you really?
Oh yeah. Because like my ideal wedding is just to get married to my wife. That's it. Because like for me, we could have done it in Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, as long as we're married, and I know it's a special day. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not any less special. It's just like we're doing the traditional wedding, and I just feel like it's just going to be so long, and I'm going to be poolside, left side, and whatever.
All the time.
I feel like I'm excited for our dance more than anything in a day. You know, where it's just me and her. I'm not running around doing something or whatever like that. Like I'm excited for us to be with the pastor and say, oh, doing the vow stuff. Like moments of my wedding, I'm excited for, but the whole day is definitely gonna be stressful.
Yeah. Are you one of the groomsmen?
Oh, I thought you asked me. I was like, wait, what? I said, what do you mean? I don't even know what that means.
There you go.
I made that list.
Yeah. That's a dope list to make. That's a dope list to
Fun
make.
facts, that's all.
I mean, honestly, I think it's weird though. Okay, again, Providence, I'm sorry, but I think it's weird when motherfuckers get angry if you don't make the cut.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually angry though.
I know
he's not.
I know you're not.
Yeah.
But like, there are motherfuckers who would look you in the eyes and be like, how dare you didn't bring me to your wedding?
Yeah, no, 100%.
I'm like, nigga, you cost money.
Yeah.
Okay?
It ain't like
I'm
that.
like, do niggas even like weddings like that? I've
Bro,
never
that's
understood
what I'm
that,
saying.
bro. I'm like,
If I was mad, I would have ruined your after party.
Yeah, right?
Like I showed up to the niggas after party. You know what I mean?
Yo, quite frankly, nobody invites me to a wedding. I'm cool, man. I don't
Dude,
give
my
a shit.
first wedding was like within the last 7 years.
Yeah.
I've like before that at like high school, never went to a wedding, nothing like that. So niggas always act like they want to go to these weddings and they never even been to. That's probably why they want to go to these weddings because they never been to one.
Yeah, I've been
get
too
hurt.
much.
They're like,
Yeah, I
yo,
love going to weddings, especially
finally
like
a friend that's having a wedding and you didn't invite me.
The ethnic one, yeah.
I'm
it's
excited
dope.
for the
It's
food
dope.
at your
It's
wedding,
dope.
bro.
Oh, yeah,
my
it's probably
goodness.
fire.
Fam.
Yeah. Like growing up, I was at too many weddings where I was like, I've done my number, man. People were just renting me out to be a ring bearer. I love
Yeah.
it. You know, and they're like,
Oh, you got duties at the wedding.
bro, I had duties, man.
I've only probably been to like 6 weddings now.
Nah, that's nice. I got sick of weddings by the time I was even 11. I was like,
see?
shit, man.
Yeah, when you're younger, that's the worst.
Yeah,
when you're told to these events you don't even know, these people you don't even know.
but I feel like it's better when you're younger because you don't give a fuck. You're just like there. But when you're older,
No, it's
You're
worse.
not doing it.
It's worse, bro.
Really?
Because you're there all day
Yeah.
and you can't do anything that you want to do,
Yeah.
and you have to sit down still the whole time.
At least when you're older, you can like drink, you can go smoke, you can
exactly,
go wherever you want,
and you
have a
can
good
choose
time.
not to go, and you can choose when to
Exactly.
leave when you want. You know, you're trapped there wearing a goddamn suit all day, sweating. You know what I mean? Like you can't do nothing.
Nothing.
You can't run around regular child shit. Like there's no kid activities at weddings. What do kids do at weddings? They
Usually
go play with
they
other
do
kids.
work.
See, we didn't have kids.
They
at our wedding.
separate kids at
There's
weddings.
gonna be kids at your wedding?
I actually don't think so. Actually, well, like my little brother, he's like 14. But like
Yeah, no, we made
besides
the
that,
rules like no kids. Like I think like the
'Cause I-
youngest was my niece maybe, and she's like 12.
I'm trying to think about it. I don't think anybody like super young is gonna be there, which is kind of interesting, actually.
It's probably gonna be more fun doing that.
Yeah.
Especially if the parents have like babysitters and stuff like that. Then kind
Just leave the kids at home.
Yeah, leave your fucking kids at home, you know.
So it's such a wholesome podcast.
So yeah, right. When do you go? So when's the show?
November 9th. Which one are you talking
The
about?
one that
Yeah,
I'm talking
it's
A
about
week and a
that
half.
one.
Yeah,
Week and a
yeah.
half. Which is what, a Saturday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Middle of the week.
middle of the week.
Port
I
time.
know. Port
Be
time.
there,
Oh,
be
good thing I'm
square.
courtside.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't work early in the morning.
Yeah, we're doing this thing called Jokes on You. Basically, the audience they suggest topics for us to just riff on and make jokes about, and that's going to be the whole set.
that sounds dangerous.
And at the very end, there's a magician.
A
too.
magician. Oh my
Musician.
goodness, a musician.
A magician.
Oh, is that the one that Hakeem was with?
No,
he's
not
a
him.
photographer. Though.
Hakeem's
So he's
with everybody.
He
though.
does magic tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This magician, he was on Canada's Got Talent. The nigga that beat me. The guy that went to the finals.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy is so good at his situation, man.
Yeah.
Because people are like, backstage, people kind of like talk a lot. They're like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, oh, yeah, let me see what you do. This guy is good, man. Like the whole time, I've said this many times, but I was dead ass serious. I kept my distance away from this nigga, man. I don't trust magicians, especially the ones that go into your brain and then unlock some shit. I'm not giving you my phone, let alone my fucking mind, bro. Like, you ever seen those magicians make you sleep on demand?
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Nobody should have that much control over
Well,
a
I'm
human
trying to
being.
see if
I never
someone.
volunteer for
I don't
those
believe
things.
that shit.
I never
I would
volunteer for
definitely.
those
I would
things.
You know what's
volunteer for
wild?
that.
You don't believe in it till you watch somebody
Yeah.
that doesn't
My
believe
nigga,
in it
yeah,
get
do
that
it.
shit done to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're actually freaking the
So
fuck
I'd be
out.
that guy.
Yo,
I'd
just
be
be that
that
guy.
guy
Yo,
for
yeah,
I'd be
please.
that
Our
guy
school
for you.
rented somebody for our big grad thing. So we literally, all our grade 12s were there. A bunch of people went up. Some of them were just down. Some of them were not down. My nigga, I was terrified. Actually, like when your parents growing up told you that was just demonic shit.
Yep.
My nigga, I was legitimately, bro. At a certain point, I'm like, whatever. I don't believe in it. And then you see niggas legitimately just snap into shit, or he just makes them say shit, and then they come back. They're like, what happened? I start praying. I'm like, yo, I'm in the room with them. I can't do this.
Just white dude.
Every time I see it, I think
Nigga,
it's
white dude say
bullshit. I'm
nigga.
like, they're paying these guys off. Like, it's not gonna happen to me.
If I see a deck of cards. I'm like, okay, maybe he has mastered his craft. You know, deck of cards.
They like that they bend the corners. That's the trick for a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's like obviously the more professional ones don't do that. But then they'll take your card and they'll do the littlest bend, like something that you and I wouldn't be able to notice. But they just in the corner. So as they're going, they'll do the thing and they'll be able to tell which one.
I wonder what gets
has
you
that
into
little-
that.
Do you know how crazy your hand speed got to be to be able to do shuffle and then bend the corner while all looking at a nigga's hands? And then
It's because they distract you. They're like, throw it up, and you see nothing. You're like, what? And like they get you like that, man. It's about all the bells and whistles. To
it's
get you
crazy.
away from actually bending
I've
the
gotten
corner.
good at the magician talk. You know the magician
what?
talk is like, hey, so give me your hands, okay? Give me your hands. Write your name on this card. All right, perfect. You haven't looked at the cards yet, right? Okay. All right, so we're just gonna shuffle this real quick. You know, the thing that we do about this trick is, usually when you're shuffling these cards, I'm gonna make this card flip from here into your ass cheek. They always just shuffling. Like, listen, I haven't met you before, have I? I've not, right? Have you
our
met?
first time,
It's
yeah.
our first time meeting,
First
huh?
time, yeah.
Becky, Joe. So listen, in the next 5 seconds, actually, do you see that? What's that card? Do you see that card? Huh?
Show it to your friends.
Show it to your friends. Hold on to it. Give it a second. I'm like, why are you still shuffling? He's holding the cards. I bet. Put it back in there. I didn't see it. You see, that's magician talk. I've practiced magician talk, but I don't know any magic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how much time did you spend with
I was
this
in
guy,
there.
bro? 'Cause
You have to practice that shit
felt
like
like
gotta
I
practice
practiced
it.
my brain right there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Thank you.
So what? The
snap
guy
was hard.
that's coming is a comedian and a magician.
No, he's a
No,
magician.
just a magician.
He's just a magician.
But he does like all of it, bro. Like he does like card tricks, like getting your brain situation. Like
Pull a bunny out of a hat or what?
I wish.
That'd be sick.
That makes sense to me. Like I want to see that, bring those kind of magicians back. Chris Angel changed the game.
Those are old school magicians.
No, y'all remember Chris Angel?
Yeah, he was an MVP.
He changed the game.
Is he dead?
Oh, he's still alive, bro. He's in Vegas and he's still killing it out there.
Good for him.
Yeah, bro. Like my mom didn't let me watch Chris Angel.
I was
growing
gonna
up.
say, if you have African parents, they
Making a
definitely
living
didn't let
off
you
magic.
watch that shit.
Hell no.
Illusions.
I couldn't watch magician shit in my
Yeah.
house. Can't do that.
No.
Can't do that.
There's a part of me inside my soul that doesn't think it's magic. This is a part of me that's like, no, this nigga
Trust
did that
me.
shit for
Yes,
real.
yes,
He
bro.
did that.
Your heart
Like,
starts. My heart skips a beat a little bit. Starts picking up pace.
I think it's bullshit.
You think it's bullshit?
Not all of it. Like
Yeah.
I know, like it's skill, and it's like
Have you seen David Blaine?
yeah. See,
Brother.
that's a little tricky.
Brother, like
When they
there's
like
some
lock
people.
themselves in
little
the
tricky.
fucking water and they're fucking handcuffed
Dog,
and all that.
even those ones, I think maybe there's a way out of those. But like when I see something as simple as
Like
I
the
watch
nail-
someone put an X
Yeah,
on someone's hand, and he's like, close your fucking hand, and he's like, do you feel something? He's like, yes, my hands are getting hotter. He's like, look at your other hand, nigga, and his hands were like this the whole time. Didn't put it on this hand. He's like, show your hands. Went on this hand.
Yeah.
Gone from this hand. How do you fucking explain that? The fuck are we talking about? That's insane.
And it, like after all these years, that information has never been like public.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The
Where are
magician
these
community,
niggas learning this shit?
the magician community is like the tightest lipped
That's what I'm
niggas.
saying.
There's more snitches in fucking all these gangs than there is in the fucking magician
Facts.
community.
Like, how do you become a
Facts.
magician?
Facts.
Go home right now, Google. How to be a magician? You only see bullshit like pulling hats to the fucking money. You don't see the real good shit.
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
no,
you don't
all
see
the
that
good
stuff.
shit, you gotta talk to the right people.
That's
man.
why I don't trust
You gotta-
magicians.
You gotta
That's
have
why.
it in. You gotta have it in.
Yeah, you got to meet another magician. Be like, no, I choose you.
I choose you.
You're going for
Did
me.
you see something in you?
And you're gonna disappear
Yeah,
for
you
like
have to
5
see
weeks.
the-
Yeah. It's
You
like,
gotta see.
you have it.
He's got it. He's got the gift.
Yeah, demons.
He's
That's what
got
he
the
has.
gift.
Is there any black magicians?
That's a great
That's
question.
a great question. No,
Or are they
I
just
haven't
scared?
seen any.
I would be
I haven't.
too
Se-
scared.
I haven't
seen
seen
the
a
famous
black
ones, at least.
magician
I was gonna say that. I feel like we wouldn't do that, especially
because that shit is
That's
witchcraft.
some
nigga.
scary. Yeah, that's some scary shit to be dipping and dabbling with, bro.
We're dabbling with some devilish demons, man.
So who's on the lineup?
Akeem, this guy.
Who's headlining?
The magician, actually.
Okay.
Well, I really didn't call it a headlining set because everybody on the show is like, headliners.
Yeah,
in
fair
that
enough.
regard. So, what I did was I have like a magician close out the show, but I'm gonna have this guy named Raz Desmond. Actually, Raz Desmond is gonna do like a quick tight five. Not very frequent in the scene. He just kind of dips in and out, but he's a very funny man. So we're gonna get him to do just a regular set.
Met him?
You've met him. You know the guy with the dreads, the black guy with the dreads.
Oh, yeah.
Smokes too much weed.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't say that often, but this guy smokes too much weed. But it's okay. Like,
That's
it's
a
like-
perfect name for him, Raz.
Raz Desmond.
That's it.
Yeah, you
Raz
see it. It
Lockstock,
was like a
yeah,
Rastafarian. I love
That's
it.
it.
But we're gonna have him close the show, do the magic stuff, and I'm pretty excited to see what the guy does, bro. Like, yeah, he has amazed me.
Have you
like,
seen him before?
Oh, I've
obviously?
seen him before. I've seen him backstage, and I'm watching him do his shit live.
Yeah.
But like the stuff that he does on the street with like crazy celebrity, he met Andrew Sherrill. He's been with like I can never say Andrew.
Andrew Schultz?
Schultz, yeah. Andrew Schultz. I can't say it properly. But Tory Lanez, he's been meeting a bunch of like celebrities and just blowing their fucking minds out, man. It's pause.
All that.
I said minds, not that. How you pause a mind? Like how you pause blow the mind?
So you see that many times you haven't caught anything? You haven't caught one of his tricks? Like I know how.
No, because I'm watching from a distance. I said I've never watched it close by. yeah, listen, I'm literally 20 feet away.
It's like I might be a victim.
I'm like, I don't want this nigga to put his hand in my pocket somehow.
That's too good. So when are we gonna get to see some of the tour film?
The tour film? Oh man.
Are you like gonna make like a compilation or what's going on?
Yeah, actually I have that on my hard drive right now, and what I'm gonna do is I did like a little snippet on my reels a couple back. That was stuff on my phone, but I actually got like one of my buddies, shout out Ben. He's like a videographer that actually cares about artists. But yeah, he got like a really cool clips with all that kind of cameras and shit, right? Like, and I'm excited to just put all that together, and then I'll just post it all.
Yeah.
I don't have a date yet, but I'll put it out soon.
When was your Vancouver show? Because I fucking planned to come. And
Which one?
Did you have two?
Dude, I perform every night, bro. I perform every night.
You have one? No, but you had like I feel like it was a part of the tour. Didn't you open the tour here?
Shit, I can't remember.
But I feel like it's either you opened it or you closed it here.
I do like, man. I probably did like. Are you talking about the UBC show? Because there was the UBC show. That was the beginning of my tour before I went to Toronto.
That's right. It was the one right before you went to Toronto.
Yeah, and I think I did two before that. I did the UBC one was a 40-minute one, so I did like a bunch of 40 minutes before I got to Toronto just to get ready. And then it was probably Susie's you were probably thinking about.
Yeah.
Because I was at Susie Rossum's show in the Comedy After Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did those shows before I went on tour in Toronto.
Are you comfortable doing 40s now?
Oh fuck yeah, yeah.
What's the most you've done?
The most? The most I've done is like I think almost an hour and 45.
Jeez.
2 hours. Yeah, the first time that happened.
That's like
crowd work. And the first hour and 45 I was very green, bro. Yeah. I was green. I was at this Nigerian event. It was supposed to be this Nigerian headliner.
I remember you told me about
Pull up to this shit. This nigga was late. And I was only supposed to open and do only 30 minutes, dog. I was only supposed to do fucking 30. This is why I believe in just always staying ready. Because, I mean, I had shit that I haven't even tested at the time.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers, they were like, oh, the guy's running late. Before I went up, like, the guy's running late. We'll let you know when to get off. You know, I mean, like, how am I supposed to know? They're like, I was hoping maybe they'll get a light. It's like, don't worry, you will see somebody let you know if they say, do this, keep going. You know, it's like, that means get off. I'm like, what do you mean? I get 30 minutes, the guy's like, I bet I'm just gonna fucking keep talking. I'm thinking maybe 45, an additional 15. I look over the guy. He's like, what the fuck? An hour hit. I'm like, yo, I am literally running out of shit to say. And then I start doing crowd work, and then I'm like, an hour 20 rolls through. I'm just like,
I don't even know how you do
what
that.
The fuck?
Man. That's so
honestly,
tough.
I don't even know how I did that too.
That's crazy.
And I think man, I don't even want to throw shade. Okay, I'm not gonna say the event, but I was at a event recently, and there was supposed to be a bunch of artists on there. And I was only supposed to host this thing. So my job was to be like, hey, give it up for this next artist that's going to do some shit for you. And I don't know what the fuck happened with the organizers or the planners, but dude, there was no artist besides myself at the fucking venue. Bro, this was like a big festival. And I'm like, okay. They're like, what am I supposed to do? They're like, well, just, go up and do your thing. Just
Put it
go
on
up
your back,
and do your
dog.
thing.
Carry the team.
Yo, I'm like talking, like 2 hours went by, and I'm just out there doing crowd work and just telling jokes.
Damn.
Bro, people don't even understand what I did that day. I'm like, you guys witnessed greatness, and you have no idea. y'all didn't even give a shit about what the fuck I did. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
You know, like I got up the stage, and the guy's like, oh, this nigga had the audacity. He's like, do you know how to dance? I'm like, nigga, I'm not dancing.
Damn.
I'm not gonna fucking dance.
Did you actually, did they pay you more?
I was going to say, did they?
No, they should have dropped a nice bag.
They paid me for that specific time to host. So them niggas were kind of smart about it. Because I'm like, you know what, fuck, I'm there anyways. You know, like there was I got to a point where I'd done 2 hours already to open the fucking show. And then an artist finally showed up after like 2-something hours. Does music, and he goes like, do you have more time? I'm like, nigga, ain't no artist or comedian has this much time to drop. I'm like, you don't understand what you're even asking. You don't even know what you're asking.
See, like, I'm coming from the point of view, it's just like, it's already so hard to make people laugh, and it's like, if you can do like 15 minutes straight of making people fucking just bust their stomach,
Yeah.
And you gotta do an hour and
An hour.
45 minutes.
An hour.
And have these people stay engaged the whole time.
Bro.
How was it for you?
anxiety.
How was the 2 hours? Was
The
it-
2 hours, honestly, it was fun. And quite frankly, if I had been doing a lot of tours at this time, so I had a lot of stuff in the bag and different stuff I wanted to touch on. And I leveraged crowd work as well, too. And as I was doing that 2 hours, one artist's band, they had showed up and they were like doing sound check at the back, and I just took it as an opportunity to start like playing around with those guys. So they start playing their guitars, and I just randomly start fake rapping. That's what I was doing, man. And every
That's
time, like,
crazy.
it was just dead air. I'm like, hit it!
That's hard. That's hard.
So what's your what would you say is your ideal situation? It's like, is it like 25 minutes straight, closing, mid, opening? Like, if someone was like, I need you on this show, what would you like? Put yourself in the most ideal spot where you think you'd tear it up.
I think from touring this past year, honestly, I honestly believe, like, if it's not like a giant arena, like if you're not doing the Rogers Arena, where you have like thousands and thousands of people there to see you, I think 30 to 25 is probably the longest a show should go. Like, I mean, at least for just the headliner. Before the openers and everything, the headliner does 20, 25. Because even if you look at science, bro, like, people can't sit for such a long time.
Yeah.
That's why classrooms are like an hour long. Because, again, your retention, you need breaks. People can't sit that long. People need to go grab a drink. And that's why it's important to also have a host to give people that time to get up as well, too.
For sure.
Ideally, I think 25, 30 is the best. I think the best show setup would be 20 in the beginning, 20 in the middle, 20 to close the show. You know what I mean? With like a host just, breaking that up a little bit to get people to stand up and
So the
eat.
closer gets as much time as everybody else.
Yeah, because realistically, man, again, I know the headliner is like, unless you have a headliner who's a draw, like I'm talking like Bill Burr, you know what I mean? Those guys. That's when you're like headliner. But as far as like local shows in the city, I kind of want to start moving towards like the 20 minute kind of thing, because then it's not as long or drawn out, right? 45 is dope, but again, even like with online content, like for my next album, like the visual album I'm gonna record, I'm not doing 45.
Yeah.
Not because I can't do 45. I just think 45 watching at home necessarily is too long.
Yeah.
I think.
How long are you gonna do?
I was thinking about doing again 25 to 30.
Okay.
Like the longest I'm gonna have it like as a full special together. Even for my album that would be on Spotify.
Yeah.
30
Max.
And you got an album out right now, right?
Yeah.
Dada Plan?
What's it called?
Yeah. Data Plan. Yeah. 45.
Where's that at?
Spotify. Anything that you can listen to music on is on there.
There we go.
But yeah, I don't think anything longer than 45. Because honestly, it's weird because I've been doing enough shows where I literally will watch people get tired of laughing. Like, straight the fuck up. Like, people will come at me at the end of the show, but like, yo, you were literally killing me. And I just don't think, you ever laugh too hard? Like, you've had that feel. I'm like, no, like, I've watched people also, other headliners who are amazing as well, just fucking kill.
Yeah.
So fucking consistent where, like, and I guess as a headliner too, that's where pacing comes into effect.
sure.
Where you gotta, like, chill out, give people time to recuperate themselves. But still, that's still a lot of laughter that just happened.
Yeah. Especially if it's a whole show.
The whole
If
show.
Doing 20 with the in between of someone hosting and then they're also like making people laugh. It's a lot of laugh fatigue for sure.
I think it's a bang, bang, bang situation, and then you leave people wanting more. And that's how they do it in London, bro. And a lot of people that I met in the festival from the UK, it's like you don't see a lot of 45s
Yeah,
there.
I was gonna
There's like
say.
just quick 20s in that area. And I've seen those run, and they run smoothly. They're perfect, and you're leaving on such a crazy high where like, shit, I'm definitely coming back for more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like see, I kind of relate it to like a UFC fight where it's like, obviously I love 5-round fights, championship fights, but like when you get two guys who just are gonna sprint for 3 rounds, those are the ones that are always banging.
Exactly.
So like
you know
you
what I
give
mean?
someone just like a quick 20-minute.
Exactly.
Obviously you can kill a 60 or you can kill a 45.
Exactly.
But you give someone 20, it's their best stuff, and they're just gonna hit you, and dip.
Exactly.
Like, fuck, that was so good. I can't wait to see him again.
I honestly, like till date, I still love middling. I love middling because middling, you just go in there and you just like, bah, 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 you just do your thing and just get the fuck out of there. You leave there looking like a superstar.
So how do you feel? Like, how do you? Let's say someone goes up and kills it.
Yeah.
Like, let's say whether, like, you're mid.
Yeah.
Probably goes first.
Yeah.
And he just fucking kills it. Now you got to follow up something that you're like, fuck, like that was one of his best sets ever that I've seen him do. Like, do you get like a competitive edge? Do you get like nervous? Do you get like when you have to follow someone who just like ripped the crowd up and now
Dude,
you're like, oh,
it makes my life easier.
Yeah.
Because they're already opened up. They're already laughing.
Yeah.
Because I know that energy, because sometimes comics will see, oh, someone just destroyed. I think that's more of a self-esteem issue. You know what I mean? Where like, oh, I don't feel like I can meet up to what just happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not necessarily the case for me. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have bad shows. I've had bad shows sometimes. Sometimes I have good shows, but I never let whoever's a performance before mine affect how I think about how I'm gonna do.
For sure.
You know what I mean? If I go up there and shit happens, you know what I mean? And sometimes people just fucking destroy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's hard to follow, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like you usually it's easier. That's why the importance of a good host, because a good host, if they come up and destroy, that's exactly what you want, because laughs come easier after that. The only time laugh doesn't come easier is if you're honestly just not as good as that laugh person that just came up and destroyed. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If you're not as funny.
Yeah, I was just asking because like people have, like with comedy, I feel like in terms of any other, I look at comedy as a bit competitive just because like there's so many different styles and like different ways to make people laugh. So like someone who just like is a completely different style, like I'm so bad with names. The guy who talks fast, the Asian guy.
Robert Pang.
Robert Pang.
He's hilarious, but like that's completely different style than you, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he can kill doing that, and then it's like, oh, like that was amazing. They reacted well to that. How is they're gonna react to my style type thing? Because like it's such so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's the only reason I asked that question, because like for me as I see it, it's tough for me to understand it. Where it's like, fuck, like I have to follow someone who just did that. That's not what I do. But
I think the biggest thing for comedy, it's not even in terms of style of comedy. Well, funny. I don't think it's a problem of funny, but I think there's a huge problem when someone has like high energy versus low energy comedy. That you see very quickly. You know what I mean? Like if someone like exactly like Robert Pang comes up and just lights it up, just full all energy, and then you have a comic come up and it's just like a liney comedy. Regardless of if that shit is funny or not, it's just not entertaining to see. It's so tough to follow. Like that I can understand. And you know what? When that happens, I don't fault the comic. I fault the booker for setting it up that way. Because when you're putting a show together, you should know the artist. You should know how there's a lot that comes into actually building a show. Like you should never put like a comic who is not as animated or like stylistic like Robert Pang after
someone who's a bit more calm.
You know what I mean? You would want to put the person who's calm first and then have Robert Pang come after.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't. That's the booker's fault at that point. You're basically setting up that guy for failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
see, even a lot of people like me, I'd even understand like that's you want to structure the show in that kind of way based off of styles, right?
Exactly.
So like
you want it to like be a natural progression of energy. You know what I mean? You want it to crescendo up. That's ideally how you want the show. You want it to start off with a pop, like a bang. So like high energy is usually I like to book this way. Someone who can bring the show up, set the tone of the show, and then if I have someone a bit newer, I would kind of throw them not bullet, but like right after the first person, because the next person also has to be very strong to continue to set that tone. And if there's a little bit of a dip, or like if there's somebody I cannot guarantee for their performance, it's not like a shot. It's just, like if you're a bit newer, I'll put you there. You know what I mean? So like worst comes to worst, the crowd's already warmed up for you anyway, so your work is not as hard.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So you have that person go up, and then after another banger, and then close with a bigger crescendo. Yeah?
Okay, so I always ask him, because I'm always interested in like creative process. Like what's your creative process in terms of like thinking of new content? Like he showed me his fucking notes, and he has like pages and pages in his notes of like just old content, new content when he gets ideas and stuff like that. Like what's your process in terms of like creating new content?
My process, man, honestly, I let it come to me. You know what I mean? So if I'm like sitting down and I just literally have an idea just pop in my head, write on my phone immediately. And then when I write that topic in my phone immediately, I think about it all day, or like, how I want to say it, and then I go perform it. I don't like writing my shit down. I don't write my shit down, not because like I think it's bad to write your shit down. I just don't learn that way. I've never learned that way. For me, I'm very like visual and like what was that style of learning? Kinetic. So I'm a very like I need to move for me to even do it. Like even when I'm writing my jokes at home, I'm not sitting. I'm walking around my apartment.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right. So and I have to go perform it. And when I start performing it and I riff it, I will put new jokes in between older jokes that I have a lot of confidence in, and then I will watch that video back and see what got a laugh and what is it that my body was doing, what was my face doing. I like to watch my videos, and actually I do voice notes. Like I don't even like, a lot of times I wouldn't even type it. I would literally just record a voice note, be like, hey, for example, Halloween. I don't like Halloween because I think it's a white privilege holiday. Literally, I would record it in my phone, and then like like riff on it in my living room like that, and then listen to it as I'm going to my show.
So do you do it when you riff on it in your living room? Are you like talking out loud?
Oh yeah, talking out loud. Yeah. So it's like I would like basically perform it the exact same way I would like to perform it at night, right? And as I'm going to the place, I literally will play it in the car, and I hear it back, and then like listen to how I'm delivering it, and then try and replicate that same performance live that night. And then when I perform it and then record it, then I get to watch what got a big laugh. Like, was it a certain pause that I need to do, or is there a pause that got a big laugh that I should hold a bit longer to see how far I can milk that laughter? Exactly. And then because even with every joke, if you start watching this, I'm breaking this down I might ruin this for most people, but when I do every joke, every joke has like an act out with it. So like when I do an act out with it, it makes it a lot easier for me to remember. Yeah. Because every joke, if you watch every joke that I ever do, there's always a certain body movement that's attached to that joke.
Yeah, but it adds to it.
Exactly.
Always.
Very
even
visual.
doing that, like even as you're like talking and you're doing hand gestures, it
Yeah.
adds to the like emphasis of what you're saying.
Engagement.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's beautiful, and I actually read this in a book too. Like if you like add body languages into your things that you're trying to like learn, it sticks in your brain. Because sometimes people are like, oh, how can you remember so much of this shit? I'm like, yeah, because I never sit down. I mean, that's not how I learn. I don't sit down and write. I get up and move, and then I attach those things to like images in my brain so I can remember that shit. Because it's the only time, even when I'm writing on my phone, if I'm gonna write, I literally put emojis as those points for those jokes. Because if I see for example, the Halloween, I have like all I see just Halloween emoji thing. Right, and then a knife, and then I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I know that sounds stupid, but if you grab my phone, you wouldn't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
No,
it means something to
It means something to me. It's like ancient hieroglyphics. Them niggas were just doing that shit the whole time. Nobody know what they're saying, but that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
No,
so
I get that.
When you create a joke, or let's say like a line that you think of, like from inspiration, let's just talking with your homies, and you're like, oh, that's funny, and you write it down. Is there like a minimum time that you like to let it cook before like you try it out, or is it just kind of like throw it out there and just see, or is it like, oh, I'll spend like 2-3 days kind of thinking about it and like seeing what I can do with it before I kind of try it out?
Basically, I don't put a time limit on it because like till the moment I record it on an album, basically I will continue working and chipping away at it
in different ways.
Yeah, so I find the moment I think a joke is getting close to done is when I can start to get like consistent, like every 5 seconds there's either a chuckle or a laugh. You know what I mean? When I watch this, because usually when I watch my video back, I see that, okay, there's a bit of period where there's a little bit of silence. And like obviously people are just listening, but I can get to that laugh even faster.
Yeah.
So the goal is to get as many consistent laughs as much as possible.
Cutting the duration time
Exactly.
down.
And if I see a joke gets like a huge laugh and then I continue to talk about that same content, what I do is I try and readjust and make sure that big laugh is at the end and see if either I can get a bigger laugh or just cut all of that altogether.
So when I first started, I told him when I first started coming to the shows, and then you did, I think it was the one on Gore.
Yeah.
And I said, as I'm starting to come to shows and noticing, I said, the one thing right away that I noticed that Ola does well is that he knows when to move on to the next thing. Like there's no like delay where it's like kind of like a dead space.
Yeah.
Where like you're like, okay, the joke's done, let me move on. It's like so quick that you cut the fat and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That's one thing I noticed.
Cut the fat, man.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of stuff that, like, when you start to travel a lot, man, like, especially when you're doing, like, TV tapings, time is so important. If they're giving me 7 minutes, literally, those are the only times I would literally sit on my computer, and this is another gem I'm dropping for people, put your dictation thing on your Word, and I literally will say those things out, and then it writes it down for me, so I don't have to go through and type the whole thing out myself. Right now, sometimes I would take a recording on my phone that I've recorded with my voice, put it beside my laptop, and it would just literally put all that stuff into Word typing for me.
That's crazy.
And I go in there, and it's easier for me to delete words that I don't need,
for sure,
or sentences, or even phrasings, where I can like take a joke and then literally cut it down. Before it was like 14 words in that sentence. I can literally cut it down to 7. I'm like, how can I word this or say what I need to say and get to this point?
I noticed that even when doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like when I talk, I may be adding extra words that I don't need to.
Exactly.
Like, people say and like stuff like that you just need to cut out and make everything more efficiently. Yeah. So like when you get 7 minutes, the goal is to be, for you, you're saying when you get let's say you get 7 minutes up on a set, you want to make that 7 minutes as efficient as possible.
Exactly.
Like cutting the fat, cutting words out.
Exactly.
And just moving on to the next thing.
As lean as possible.
While also trying to elongate laughs the best you can.
Exactly.
That's
And
hard-
like,
that's so
and
hard,
when you
man.
tell those jokes too, like if I even got 7 minutes, if you're in a theater, like if I'm performing 7 minutes in a regular bar room, that would be technically like, and if it's doing very well, that's 5 minutes of content in a theater, because again, a room is so big. So sometimes you need to allow, because there's this thing called stepping on your laughs. So like if you are telling jokes and you're not giving people room to laugh, what happens is people literally stop laughing and they start like paying attention to what you're saying because they don't want to miss anything. You know what I mean? So if you give that room, and that's why pauses are important. That's why, like, you know, you stop for a second and, you know, you do like a little act out for a second. It gives people room to just open up and enjoy that joke for a second before you move on to that next joke.
I've noticed that because sometimes someone will say something like, say another punchline in between a joke, but
Yeah.
people will still be laughing, so half the crowd kind of misses it.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot
and-
of misses where like I've heard it, but I could tell people around me didn't hear it.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yo, did you get? Oh, I missed that. Yeah.
Exactly. So
That
you
makes
gotta.
sense.
There's a lot of timing involved in all that kind of shit. Like, people think comedy is a joke, man.
Yeah.
No, it's not, man. From
It's
the
not,
beginning,
man.
because like he said it, he would say it to me and Abdul to be like, yo, you should like, yo, I'm gonna bring you out for like 2-3 minutes. You just try.
That's how it starts,
I'm
though.
like, I'm not trying to do that.
No, you can.
Because like I'm
Yeah.
like in my head, I'm like I see it as such an art form where like I see how difficult. It's not just going up and telling jokes.
It starts off that way,
It's
man.
just not.
And-
I
and
don't
it
know.
is.
So the way I see it, 'cause, like you guys are like I'm lucky enough to like know some people who are taking it seriously. That people,
Yeah.
But like for me, when I watch you guys, I'm like people who are just there just to laugh don't appreciate what they're actually watching because it's fucking hard, man.
Yeah, people
I was
think you just
actually
go
going to
up.
ask you that. Do you guys feel like there's more pressure being black, that you have to be funnier, especially in like a city where like, there's not that many black comedians? Well,
I mean, what
now
do you
there's
think?
more. Yeah.
What do you think?
Like this is a question for the both of you.
What do you think first?
More pressure to be funny because I'm black? No. I find that there's more pressure to be funny in general now because of all the stuff I have out, you know? Because usually I meet people and immediately they want me to just start throwing jokes at you. And I find I've become more quiet and more reserved because of all the stuff that I do. Because I know I see mans on the street. Like, if you come at me with some regular energy, that's fine. You say, hey, I love your work. I'm like, thank you. But I hate the motherfuckers who come up to me and then they want a show. They're like, no, literally, I've had people ask me, hey, man, do you think I can, come on, give me a quick joke right now? I'm like, nigga, I'm not a clown, man. I'm like, I usually start telling people, I'm like, listen, that shit costs money, nigga. Like, I get paid to make people laugh. I don't get paid to do this shit for free anymore.
Right.
You know, like when people come up with expectations,
Yeah.
you know, and you're like, I'm not your dancing monkey. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like out of respect and we're just having fun, you know, we're laughing, you know what I mean? That's fine. That's cool. It's whatever. But if you come up like, hey, come on, tell me a joke. And then just stand there, stand like, yo, this is weird.
And it's difficult for you guys because, like, let's say someone like an athlete,
Yeah.
you can't just throw them a basketball. You know what I'm saying? But like, you guys are doing something. It's conversation. It's talking, so they can kind of expect it off the jump. Where like other professions, kind of hard to. You know what I'm saying? Do you like that, or do you understand that that's what comes with people knowing that you're funny and you having that talent? It's kind of like a gift and a curse, where it's like I'm funny, but now in regular situations when I'm trying to chill and I'm just trying to like connect and meet new people,
Yeah.
they're expecting like for me to make them laugh when I'm just here to like
To be fair, when everything started becoming a bit more like public for me, and it really bothered me at first. Like, and I was kind of like in my apartment, didn't really leave for a while because I knew what that energy was gonna be like, and I just didn't want any part of that, you know. But now I understand that people are just excited, you know. People they see me on TV. Oh, he's the comedian guy. Oh, let's make him laugh. And like now I've accepted a bit more because people are just excited, you know what I mean? Like, even if people come up on entitled energy, I just start roasting you instead because, you know, even in that roast and me making fun of you, I'm still doing exactly what you just asked me to do.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, it is what it is. It just comes with the job, you know?
Is it because like you felt like they were just acting like that's all you're good for? Like, why would you like avoid that energy? Is it because you're like, oh, they only think I'm good at like to make them laugh? That's it. They don't actually want to know anything about me. It's like, let me just stay away from that until like I'm actually in a work scenario where like that's what I'm doing. But like if people catch me on the street, I don't really want to.
I feel you. I get what you're saying. And yeah, there was a bit of like, hey, you don't even know me. Why do you feel so entitled to my time? You know what I mean? That's how it came off to me at first. But then as I was thinking about it, honestly, I talked to my mom about it. My mom, I love my mom, man. She's like, It's you. You're the one you want to be a star. You decided to be a star, and this is what stars go through. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And this is what I did sign up for. I mean, when I start looking at it, I'm like, did I want to be at a bank still? No. I'm like, I'm gonna take bullshit either way. Nah, I get to choose the bullshit on my own terms. And quite frankly, in terms of bullshit, it's not the worst. You know what I mean? Like when I start taking myself less seriously and taking the situation less seriously, I'm like, bro, this nigga's he's just excited. He wants to laugh. He's happy. He see Ola over here, and he's like, oh, he's a comedian guy. Let's see what this comedian guy want to do. You know, is he funny? I'm like, yeah, man, nigga, I am funny, and I show you why I am funny. You know what I mean? I take those moments as an opportunity to get these niggas to a paid show. It's all marketing.
For sure.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
What's your shooting percentage when you're writing?
When I'm writing?
How many times does it come out where exactly when you thought it was funny for the crowd too? Like, what's your shooting percentage with that shit?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
100%. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, you know, like it's okay. So let me rephrase the 100% how I mean it. Like, okay, I may have said something off jump that wasn't funny, but I would have gone a chuckle. And by the time I'm done writing that joke, that shit's gonna be hilarious. There's never been any joke where I'm like, I don't think that's funny. I mean, that I've shelved a joke where I'm like, you know, I need a better perspective for this joke, and I come back to it, and then I start to continue to rewrite that joke. But I think every piece of content on this planet is funny. You just got to find a way to deliver it, because even if you like put an act out to it, or like even put a pause to it, I don't think there's anything that really isn't funny. You just need to know how to tell it.
And there's a lot of vulnerability that has to be put into that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to be okay being like, man, this shit kind of sucks right now.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not saying I've never put out a bad joke. I've put out tons of bad jokes.
Yeah.
But I've put out tons of bad jokes that what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it's in the hallway.
Oh, I thought your dog got back inside.
No, this is a staircase right there.
That scared me, man.
So you're saying basically the structure of a joke
Yeah.
You're 100% with that.
Yeah, I mean, especially as long as I believe in that joke.
Yeah,
if
for sure.
I think this joke is funny, 100% of the time, the joke is gonna work.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So like, I have put out bad jokes, but I have made bad jokes become good jokes.
How do you think like your life, because you're talking about how you're grounded now, like you're a lot more grounded and shit. Have you noticed that that's changed with how you perform and how you write and all that?
Oh yeah, 100%,
How
man.
you interact with people and shit?
Yeah, like, and I think that comes a bit more, because even around the time where I was saying like I didn't like when people felt entitled to my time, that was a moment in my life where I was very stressed. I was still at TD, and
How long ago was that?
That was just like 8 months ago, like, bro. And at that time, especially with the Canada's Got Talent stuff, that was a lot to take in all at once, bro. Because like my phone was just ringing at all times. Like again, everybody was very excited, but for me, it was very overwhelming for me at once. Like it's funny because at that moment, I'd only focused on that comedy part. You know what I mean? Like just doing my job, making people laugh on stage. But I never thought about like the idea of having to perform off the stage, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like I almost felt like I was almost stuck in a performance mode.
I hear that.
You know what I mean? And I was stressed because I was still doing a job that I wasn't like super into. You know, in those moments I was like, oh my God, like I'm so already tight for time in general. Now these guy wants me to be out here on the street, be making him laugh. I'm like, bro, I got places to be. You know, now that I've, you know, taken away things that take so much energy out of my life, I honestly feel grounded, and I feel happy to go to bed. I feel happy to wake up the next morning. There you go. Bro, like I stay up late because I don't want to go to sleep because I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean? I feel grounded in that way, and you know, I'm not as angry of a person, man. This guy know me. I've been through phases where I was like grumpy as shit at all times because, bro, I was stressed as fuck.
What do you think was there a deciding factor? Was it Chelsea? Because this happened like in the last few years too.
Yeah.
Like it's all new, right?
Yeah, Chelsea definitely huge. Like my fiance, shout out to her, man. I just shouted out my fiance. That's such a weird.
DJ Chips, though.
Yeah, shout out DJ Chips.
Shout out wifey.
Shout out wifey again. Shout out my fiance.
Man. That's your life.
Yeah, man. Honestly, she's such an amazing energy, bro. Quite frankly, I've never met a person who is just so joyous, you know, because people talk about being happy, because, you know, being happy is one of those things where you need something to cause that. Joy, it just comes from the inside, regardless of what's going on. Joy is just in you.
For sure.
And Chelsea, when I tell you she's joyous, bro, she sees niggas die every day.
She's
Back
a
home.
nurse.
She's a nurse.
Yes,
yeah,
that was-
my bad. Context. She's an assassin.
Yeah, on these streets.
She's a nurse, man. She sees the worst this city has to offer.
For sure.
And you know what? Every fucking day she comes back home with a smile on her face. And that's me, how I'm doing, how everything is going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's tough, man.
to watch that kind of joy, it rubs off on you. You know what I mean? It's like I start to really like appreciate that kind of resilience, because at the time the things I was doing, I'm not trying to compare anything to, but like necessarily, like, man, I was at the bank. I didn't really like my job like that. And I was trying to do comedy. I didn't go to the bank, and I was stressed, and I was getting grumpy because of that. And I look at her just come back from the hospital after a 12-hour shift, be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? So like having her be such an influence in my life like that was so amazing, and she honestly gave me the courage to like quit my job.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, what was the like straw that broke the camel's back? Like, what made you finally quit?
There was a lot of stuff that went there. Like, Prav already like let him know about everything, but there was, my coworkers, it was getting to this place where like,
Disrespect.
it was a lot of disrespect. And
What you mean by disrespect?
I don't want to go into it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
That's fair.
But again, they just didn't respect what I did in terms of like, it's the corporate world. You know what I mean? Like,
brought to the table?
what I brought to the table. I mean, like, all I'm gonna say, there was a lot of unnecessary disrespect, and what broke the straw in the camel's back for me was like I was doing paperwork one day, and I was going to the printer, and a random client walked in, and this guy stated, "So you really do work at a bank?" They made that statement to me, and for some reason it just resonated with me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here? This nigga out here telling me he see my shit on. What am I doing here? Like, I'm making waves right now. Like, why am I out here spending so much energy? At this time, I was spending so much energy and time
In a place
and a
that's
place
full time,
Bro.
On top of full time,
Sucking
during the
the energy out of
pandemic,
Sucking my
I was
energy.
working fucking like a dog. It was crazy.
It was
still.
insane.
Still,
40 hours. And I'm like, I thought about it. I'm like, the allocation of time I've put towards comedy versus the payoff I've gotten has been insane, because I'm at TD 40 hours a week. I don't think I'm putting 40 hours into comedy, because there's only so much time you can put in a fucking day. You know what I mean? I would rush from work straight to comedy, and if anything, comedy's an hour long. I go back home, I write some content or whatever. But if anything, I'm spending maybe 3 hours a day on comedy. You know what I mean? And I still got to fit in friends, relationship, all that kind of shit. I'm like, man, I need to take this away, because I feel like it's just taking so much out of my soul. I'm so unhappy here.
Yeah.
I went through this phase where, like, dude, I would wake up in the morning, literally my alarm would go off. I would be up at 8 o'clock. My work is at 10, and I'd still almost be late, because niggas would just be like, damn.
yeah.
I wear a whole suit. I'm like, damn. I'm like walking to the door. I'm like, damn. Like, I'm like saying damn the whole way through, bro. Like, it was so stressful. I'm like, this is not a way to live, man.
Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy. Yeah. Like, I literally woke up one day, and like after the client was like, oh, well, you're really on TV, blah blah blah. I quit on the spot that day. Went straight to my manager's office. I'm like, yo, I'm done, man. I can't do this anymore. And the guy was like, oh, is this your 2 weeks? I'm like, nah, I'm leaving right now. It's been a long time coming. I think I need to start choosing things that actually makes me happy, because a lot of people will stay in unhappy situations because of fear, and I realized I was still at that place because of fear.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not a good reason to be at a spot, bro. Since the day I quit that job, man, and the thing that cheesed me off, I'll never forget that he said that shit, and that gave me so much fuel bro, now that I work by myself, I'm working from sun up to sundown, and I'm just so happy that I get to do it. My manager looked me in the eyes like, don't worry, man, go chase that dream.
Yeah.
If you ever need us again, we'll be right here.
That's it.
You hear that
Always,
shit?
always get a job.
They didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
They didn't believe in us. God
How long have you been waiting to say that?
Oh, dude. I've been waiting so long.
Ever since he made it up, yo. Ever since DJ Khaled made that shit up, that's fucking.
Dude, that shit killed me. It killed me.
That's the best. That's the fucking best.
Oh,
so
my
I
God.
have, there's 2 questions that I was thinking about. Like, one talking about like people like asking you and like asking you for jokes, stuff like that. When did you notice that it changed? Like, you were always like doing stand-up comedy and doing stuff. When did you notice it changed, where like all of a sudden you started going out and like people were like, oh, you're like, when did it start getting a consistent notoriety?
Vancouver really, it's not a crazy big place.
not.
Yeah.
And when you do like a bunch of shows all over the city every night, even open mic or regardless, because people love going out. So for a while, I mean, I would say even before pandemic, like people would be like, oh, you're that comedian guy. I went from that comedian guy to like, oh, you're a Showtime. Like I have people come up to me like, "Oh, Showtime Dada," and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. This nigga don't even know my name." I like it though.
Right.
I met a guy on a plane. That one shook me. That shook me. But like I was flying back from Toronto, and then I'm walking by, bro. I have a mask on, like, and I just have my I guess my do-rag is notable now because I have so many different colors. I had a do-rag and my famous, I call them my sty glasses. I had my glasses on, bro. I was not identifiable by any means, and the guy was like, "Oh, yo, it's Showtime." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I am." And it still gets surprising to me a lot of times, bro. I'm just like, fuck.
You'll never get tired of it.
I fucking love it, man. It's super nice. I love it. I love that people, like, they show love like that, you know? And, again, before, I'd feel a little shy about it or whatever, but I'm just like, nah, this is cool.
Yeah.
How's it been from the other comedians in the comedy world? How's it been?
It's been, honestly, it's been super dope, bro. Because, like, again, I mean, anybody can talk shit about me because, you know, man, I work hard. You know, it's not even like anything was handing out to me. And, like, I was in the same open mics with all of these motherfuckers, man. The comedy scene has been nothing but welcoming to me, at least, because, I mean, shit, I didn't take any shortcuts. I run shows. I write jokes, write new jokes. Like, I mean, the comedy scene is...
It didn't change.
Didn't change for me. I mean, if it changed, I didn't pay attention. I don't know if it changed in a bad way, but everything is...
Yeah, has there been people that were, like, cool with you that now that you're kind of doing something, they're kind of like... why is
Or
this
people
guy
that weren't
getting
cool with you, but now they're like, bro, I love you.
it? Yeah.
I say I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff,
There you
man.
go,
Like
man.
my friends are my friends. Bro, for me, my energy, Prom knows, man. I'm always like, hey, what's up, hi. Like the only way I'm not gonna talk to you is if you're straight up just disrespecting me, and I'm like, and that's something I'm gonna check you on.
Yeah.
And after that, we can move accordingly. You know what I mean? Like I don't waste time with that kind of garbage. Like for me, I say hi to everybody. Yeah. And if someone's talking shit about me, I'm like, yeah, that's on you.
No,
That's your
for
problem.
sure. I would agree. I was just thinking more so like someone that you were like friends with.
Yeah.
Like someone you're like, oh yeah, like, and then all of a sudden like you try to hit them up, and then they're kind of like ignoring your shit. Like, fuck this guy. He doesn't
trying to
deserve
think,
that
man.
shit.
I'm trying to think.
Or someone that you would try to give time to, and they'd be like, yeah, what's up, man? And they kind of do their own thing. And all of a sudden when they see you, like, yo, Showtime, what's up, baby? How you been, dog? How life? How wifey at?
I'm not gonna drop names, but I mean, I can't lie to you. There's definitely some people that have, you know, switched up.
Yeah.
Definitely switched up, man. And you know what? When I see that, it doesn't even make me mad. It doesn't make me angry at all because it's just, it is what it is. I'm like, you know what? I did this. You know what I mean? I look at you now, we're friends because of what I've done. I feel like those moments for me is more of an accomplishment than anything else because I'm like, man, I just turned a hater to a fan.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I see that, I'm like, okay.
I think it's also because of like the people you have around you too. Because I've known you for a minute. I've actually known him for a minute.
A long time, bro.
I worked with his boy Idris, and like even from then, just like that's why I started coming to your shows and just like seeing you, Hassan, probably just seeing, because I can actually genuinely say I've seen you guys go up,
legit.
And there are some shows I'll go, yeah, my boys and guys are bombing it, and I'm like, and seeing you guys get better and better, it's crazy to see, and just like it's been the same energy like all the time. It's always love, and it's
always love.
I love to see that, man.
We move with love. Provenance. So it's such a small city, bro.
Yeah.
So I worked with Hassan's, I think they're stepbrothers. I think his parents like, I don't know if they adopted him, but I think they like let him live in North Van. So his name's Connor.
Yeah.
I worked with Connor, and then I met Hassan through Connor because he lived with them and all that. And then he's like, yeah, my brother's from, he called him his brother. He's like, my brother's from Toronto and all that. So I think I played basketball with him a couple times. That's how I first met Hassan. So I even know he's a comedian. And then I started seeing his comedy shit. Fucking like, it's hilarious.
He's so funny.
He's so funny.
You can't. You just
it's
get
such a small world. Like I worked at fucking RYU, man.
Yeah.
Like in West Van with a fucking rich white kid.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, fucking Hassan's living with this guy, and I meet him through that. And now fucking you guys know him and everything. It's a small city, man.
small city. Shout out Hassan. Hassan's killing it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, do you wanna drop some names for people for comedians to check out in Vancouver?
Oh yes. Sean McDonald. Absolutely hilarious. This guy he's a bold motherfucker, man. I tell you, this guy, like, he doesn't give a fuck. And you know what? I love surrounding myself with people like Providence, people like Sean, because I see them drop some content. And I'm like, nigga, I could do better. You know what I mean? And it's not even out of hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you know what? I am not taking enough risks.
You
know
showed me him, right?
Yeah.
That's the one that you showed
Sean,
me?
yeah.
Showed
you his account and shit.
When I say I could do better, I mean, like, because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, because of, I have more eyes on me now. I'm a little bit more kosher when I say certain things on TV or say it in public. I see Sean just drop a fucking crazy joke. It's one of those things. So sometimes Sean will call me and then he would tell me a joke, and I'm like, I'm just as excited to see how the fuck it goes because he can go 102.
Yeah, and it's not even like he doesn't have the eyes on him either. Like,
He has a lot of eyes, bro. He's falling to nuts.
Crazy.
You know, like, but like the route he's going is very like, you know, I'm doing this myself from the ground up. You know what I mean? Like, he's going the Andrew Schultz route.
He's my nigga, bro.
Content.
Dude.
Like, he's a great joke writer, man. Yeah. This guy, there was one joke where I was watching at home because I didn't even know he had this bit. I just started going through his page, and I don't want to butcher it. I'm gonna probably send it to you guys so you guys can even tag it up, give him the love. Yeah. And he would basically, there's context, so do not take this joke for what it is, okay? This nigga's not crazy. Okay, he was talking about how Asians are the most racist people, and then goes into the bit, and I'm like, dude, even that approach into that shit, I'm like, wow. And by the end of that joke, I was like, good for you. You know, there's nothing better than watching the comic just finesse such a crazy topic.
That's what's up.
I love him. Him, honestly. Andrew Jin, she's fucking killing it right now. She's a very funny comic. She's making waves in the States right now.
She was just on James. What's that nigga's name? James.
The late show with. I'm so
the nigga with the chubby nigga with the accent.
Yeah. The British accent.
The British
accent.
Yeah, the British guy. I think it's James
Corbin, I think. Something like that.
He's a big guy.
First name James though.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out.
I'm trying to think who else. No, obviously yourself. You're fucking killing it. Fucking shout out to you.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Bobby.
Did you add Darcy to that list?
Darcy? Oh well, I mean, I thought we were talking about upcomers.
No, just in general.
Oh, in general. Dude, okay, yeah, Darcy. Oh my God. Yo, Darcy's fucking hilarious. It's this is like a legend. You know what I mean? Like, this guy can go up. This guy will go up and light up the room regardless of any state this room is in.
It could be two people in that room.
Yo, for real. And those two niggas will light it up. You know, motherfuckers walking like, fuck this, fuck that. You know, the energy comics will come and be like, oh, this is a shitty room. Darcy come up, makes the back of the room, the comics laugh, make those two audience laugh, make the waitress laugh. Bro, Darcy is hilarious. Like, if there's like a few people I'm scared to follow, Darcy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Darcy is a crazy monster. Ari Mahdi, you guys might not know him. I don't know if you met him. Ari?
I'm not sure. I don't think I did.
Shit, this guy is from Estonia, and he has like this crazy Russian accent. And honestly, watching Ari perform, I think might have changed my life in terms of like learning how to, like, being able to grow, because I made it a mission to follow Ari. With every show he did, I'm like, put me up after Ari, because this guy would go in there and decimate. Like, he would destroy. Like, the guy would talk about content that was just so unseen. Like, I can't even tell you the whole bit, but this is how it ends. It's like, basically, he shoots his entire family in this hypothetical joke, and I watched that joke. I was there for that joke. The bit, I can't remember, but I'll tell you this room was fucking tense. Bro, nobody was laughing, and this guy did not break character for 1 second, for not a single person. The day I regained so much respect for Ari, he ended the joke with, like, you can erase your entire bloodline from Google. Just shoot your entire family and be like, page not found. Bro. Bro, this is one of the craziest jokes I ever seen in my life. And when he did the found, I don't know what it was about that part of the joke. Everybody just cracked the fuck open, and everyone was laughing so hard. And you know, I got up there, I'm like, you know what? I don't care how badly a joke goes. You ever heard this thing, commit to the bit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ari, if commit to bit was a person, this nigga would talk about the wildest shit, and he would just stick in that character till it gets that payoff. Ari is amazing. I'm trying to say.
And you said that's the guy that moved away now, right?
He moved. He's from Estonia, bro. He's huge in Estonia, though. So when he came out here, he just wanted to see what the scene was like in Canada. Yeah. Back in Estonia, like Europe, all that area, like, this guy's selling out like 4,000 theater seats, bro. This guy, he's big time.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch him.
Yeah, he's making pounds. He's making peas. He's making that real money, man. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Cassidy, she's newer to the scene. She's very funny. I'm trying to think, man. It's weird when people ask me to drop names off the top of my brain.
It's easier when it's just the names.
You want to do a yes or no situation?
Yeah.
Would you put Akeem on that list?
Akeem, yeah, for sure. Oh, without a doubt. See, again, my bad. Akeem, absolutely hilarious, man. Like, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now out loud. You can put this out there. When Akeem said he was doing the 45-minute special, I came there as a hater. I'm like, he can't do it. He's not doing it.
killed it.
You
Crowd
fucking
work
murdered
special.
it. Yeah, crowd work special. My brain was like, you know what? Maybe 20 minutes he's gonna kill. You know, like I'm very open with being a hater. Okay. Hey, I came in there. I'm like, you know what? I want to support my friend.
Yeah, you got the right to your opinion because you still showed up and supported and shit.
Because 40 minutes. Listen, you guys don't understand. 40 minutes of crowd work. That's is
a lot,
fucking
bro.
hard. Like, and that's for any even seasoned comic. Just to be like, I'm going up for 45 minutes. I'm gonna fucking talk and make motherfuckers laugh. Off top. That's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
That's not fucking easy. I came in there thinking maybe 20, 30. Bro, this guy lit it up for the entire time. Yeah. Like, you know, because a lot of, again, I'm going to say this. A lot of comics, I feel like they give Akeem not like a good rep because, you know, crowd work in comedy is quote unquote now seen as work. You know what I mean? Like, they're not putting in the work.
By you guys.
Yeah, comics, only comics.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
this is
I was
comic
gonna
talk.
say, 'cause I'm like, I think
Audience
that's
member, they fucking love that shit. If anything, they probably prefer that shit.
Yeah.
So, like, when Akeem, he gets a lot of flack because, you know, he comes up and he does the crowd walk stuff. And you know what? I was one of those comics as well because, again, I put that due diligence. I put that time in. But, like, watching Akeem do what he does, like, night in and night out, I'm starting to appreciate, that's this nigga's style.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of room for different styles in comedy. There isn't no specific style of comedy as opposed to, like, you know what I mean? There's no style of funny. Yeah. There's no style of comedy. You know, this nigga goes up and that's his fucking thing. And he does it night in and fucking night out. Andrew Schultz, that's how he did his thing.
Hilarious.
And touching on that thing that you said about like people getting mad about him doing the crowd work thing, I think this is bringing it back to the question you asked about being black. I think this is one thing some people will try to discredit you for because it's almost like right away. It's almost like you being a black person right away means you have swag and you have a personality and you're this, that, and the third. So they feel like that's almost something that's like giving you a
It's called
edge
jealousy.
on them type shit. Even though it's
Jealousy.
like, we're all starting to say, if anything, we had to work harder. We're still working harder even now, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that people will put up on Akeem talking about, like, you got to do more at the end of the day because you're just like playing into the fact that you're black, which that's odd.
What else are you supposed to play
What else
into?
are you-
The fuck? I've
what
never
he is.
understood that context. I'm like, bro, if you want to be a brother, like, I am a brother. That's why it's just me. Like, it's
I'm just being myself.
I'm just being myself.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean? That's why I say it's just jealousy because you see somebody just be them and people love them.
He's like, what, you want me to bluff? I'm playing with the cards I was
Just
dealt.
like, you're playing the black card. I'm like, what other card am I supposed to play? The Asian card?
That's the card I was dealt.
Am I supposed to play Patel? Like, am I supposed to play the brown card? What card am I supposed to play? Like,
100%.
It comes from like resentments and bitterness. I think if people been in the game and they feel they deserve something and
exactly.
they're not getting it, why would they show you love when they weren't shown this type of energy?
Yeah,
you know?
I agree 100%, and I also think that the market will tell you.
Yep.
The
100%.
crowd will tell you.
100%.
Fuck what other comics think. If they
Exactly.
think you should be doing more, doing less, doing crowd, doing more skit, whatever, the crowd will tell you.
The crowd will tell
The
you.
whole goal at the end of the day is to make people fucking
To
laugh
market.
and make
Yes.
people engage and make people want to come see your shows.
Big facts.
And if you're doing that,
I love that you brought that up, bro, because a lot of times, a lot of comics would be like, I don't think that person's funny, so that means that person's not funny.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense to me, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is the audience. If this guy is lining up a fucking audience, bro, his job is done.
Bro, they're paying.
funny.
They're the one paying.
Yeah,
comedians
he's
are
You're not
funny.
paying.
Yeah, he's
You know what I
funny.
mean? Like, I have completely detached myself from me saying, I don't think that person's funny, so they're not good. You know what I mean? I completely separated myself from that idea because I'm like, just because I don't think they're funny
Thank you.
doesn't mean
Doesn't mean anything.
that 20 random motherfuckers aren't gonna
Your
think they're not
opinion
hilarious.
means
Nothing.
But
It
that's
means
why
nothing.
that's why I'm always pushing people. I'm always like, put your shit out there, man.
Yeah.
Just because you may not think it's funny, but someone out there is gonna think it's funny. There's a lot of fucking people out there, man.
Bro,
some
for
people
real.
like some weird shit,
That-
and they might like your shit.
That's the thing about
it.
comedy, bro.
Niche,
There will
man.
be somebody that will laugh at your shit.
Trust me.
There's always
Find your
somebody that's
niche,
gonna
bro.
like it.
There's somebody.
That's where the
There's a group of people
vulnerability
that-
comes in
And
of just
the-
putting yourself out there.
I think it comes from comparison also because when people put out stuff sometimes they're like, well, my video didn't get 10,000 likes. It's not funny. Bro, nigga, you got 10 likes. That's 10 people who like your
10
shit.
people,
Fuck
bro.
with
You know what I mean? I mean, you think whoever put that post and got 10,000 started off at 10,000?
No.
Big
No.
facts.
Everyone starts at zero.
Starts at 0, starts at 1, starts at 2. And the thing is, the only thing that makes you win is if you keep consistent at it. That's all that
Look
matters.
at the numbers.
Who gives a fuck,
As
man?
long as you're putting out what you think is funny and
Exactly.
what is
You put
keep
effort
going.
behind it, people are gonna bribe behind you, bro. Like,
So what's your like not motto, but like advice that you would give or something that you've learned? Like a life lesson that you've learned so far, because you're not that old yet, right? You
Yeah.
got fucking hair and shit. Crazy.
the animosity to that hair statement. You got hair and shit. You could even say it with your full mouth.
I tried to move on.
You got hair
I
and shit.
tried. I tried to hold it in so hard. I tried, bro. I tried. Should just
Niggas
slip
out here
out.
wearing a hat.
Can't believe it. It's raining outside. Just cover yourself.
Nice hat.
Fuck. Thank you. I had to go get it after I saw this nigga walk in. We walked in together. And this nigga walks up to me. He's like, hey, you growing your shit out? I'm like, nigga, what is wrong with you? What the fuck? I'm shining right here. Only one part of my... Anyway, that's not the fucking point. So from what you learned, because you went through your phases, like it sounds like, and I also got to witness it gratefully, bro. It was just beautiful to witness this shit. What would you say that... Just looking at it from the outside, looking in now, because you're more grounded now, so you're a lot more like in tune with yourself. What's one thing that you would tell that person that's in those shoes, like at the beginning when you're starting this process of yourself, like
Patience, bro. Like, I know that sounds crazy, and when I say patience, a lot of people allocate that to just patience on the outside. Patience also with yourself. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, they start to beat themselves down if they don't perform to a level or perform. Like, bro, I know a lot of people who are hilarious, and they will beat themselves up for not having a joke hit a certain way. Bro, listen, you're not gonna light up every fucking room. You know, it's just the thing it is. There's always gonna be another show. There's always gonna be another. As long as you don't quit and you're patient with yourself and the people around you, I think you should be all Gucci, man.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually, something's gonna pop off.
Patience and discipline, man. That's it.
Exactly.
Those are the two things
Exactly.
you need. And it's like people want to be that person right now, and you have to understand that it's a process.
There's a room to grow, bro.
There's room to grow. You're never gonna like the whole point of it is becoming that person. It's not being that person.
Exactly.
It's becoming that person.
And you're from-
that takes discipline and that takes patience. Man.
yeah. And you're from Fort McMurray, so you weren't even supposed to be here.
Yeah, that's 100%. No, that's
Which
facts.
is crazy.
No, that's facts. That's crazy.
You found your wife here.
That's crazy.
Your career boosted from here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
I just woke up one morning. I'm like, I'm going to BC.
Well, yeah.
I would say that too.
Why'd you make
100%.
that decision? You didn't even do comedy till you moved here.
Yeah, bro.
So
And-
yeah, how'd you get started in comedy? We haven't talked about that.
Bro, I stumbled on comedy, bro. And like how I first moved here was honestly the reason I moved from Calgary to BC was when I was University of Calgary. I'd gone there and had made too many friends. And, you know, I'd become that guy where I was the party guy, I was a funny guy all the time. People were always distracting me. Like, it was hard for me to even study in my res room. And I literally made this call. I'm like, man, if I stay in University of Calgary, I don't think I'm going to graduate. Like, it was just so hard to focus, bro. There was just too much partying. So I literally moved to a city where I didn't know anybody. And then 4 years later, the whole city knows me. And that was, I moved out here to like make sure I could finish school. That was the whole energy for me.
And then the open mic happened.
Then the open mic,
Set
yeah.
the picture
yeah.
for the people about the open
Oh
mic.
my God. I was out with some homies, and prior to this, I didn't even know where comedy happens. I don't know anything about comedy. Like, I've seen Netflix specials, but like my brain never contextualized like, oh, this shit happens live. So we're just going down to Granville, and we are walking by this pizza spot, Goldie's, and we just stopped by, just got some pizza. We just want to grab a quick bite before we hit the club. That was the plan was never to go to a comedy club. Stop at this comedy bar. Sorry, the pizza spot. We think it's just a pizza spot. We're all getting pizza. As we're eating a pizza, we hear laughter downstairs. I'm like, yo, what the fuck's that? And then we go downstairs to check out what's going on. There's the booker, Susie Rossum. She's down there. And, you know, obviously we walk in on a live show. There's like 10, 15 of us. You know, this place, a small room, sits maybe 30, 40 at most. And everyone's like, oh, yo, Ola, you should totally go up. You're hilarious, blah, blah, blah. You should totally give it a shot. And at this point, I'm not even scared of an audience. So, like, I go up to Susie. I'm like, yo, Susie, is it cool if I run up? She's like, nah. And then she's like, no, these are for paid professionals. I'm like, okay, fair. Like, this was like a Saturday, too. It wasn't even like an open mic night. So I'm like, we're about to leave. And then she's like, oh, you know what? If all your friends pay right now, I give you like a quick 3 minutes. And I was like, hey, guys, you guys want to watch me do it? If I got to do it, if you guys pay. And like for her, that was a smart business move, bro. Because like, listen, like, shit, $15 for all of those guys. She was making bread. You know, and came in. She's like, just 3 minutes. When you see the light, get off. And I just went in there. And honestly, having all my friends there at the time just gave me so much confidence because I just started roasting everybody in the room. I was already like, I was a little slightly drunk already also. So I was on light them up mode, bro. I just went down the line just roasting all these. And then, you know, I even held the mic. I don't know why I did that. But yeah, after I was done that, she was like, oh, like, are you a comic from oh, I've never seen you before. Like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Alberta. And then she just assumed I was a comedian from Alberta. And then she's like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely have you back. We'll book you again. And I was like, oh, yeah, for sure. I don't even know what that meant. I was like, sure. I dipped out, and then she asked me to come back like a month later. And I just strolled back in, and she's like, oh, you got a 5? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a 5. I got a 5. And then I just wrote the funniest things that I thought about as the month went. I prepared for that 5 minutes, so I didn't just show up and talk like last time. Because I didn't have all my friends with me, and I did pretty okay. And then she's like, "Oh, that was awesome, man. I'll book you again soon enough." And she just booked me every like month or two. And then one day she finally had like, talk to me to get to know me a bit better. And she's like, where you from? When did you start comedy? Like, you know. And I was like, I started in this room. And then she's like, what do you mean in this room? I was like, the first time I walked down here was the first time I ever touched the mic. She's like, wait, so like you've never done comedy prior to this? I'm like, no. She's like, well, have you been to anywhere else in the city? I'm like, no, I thought comedy only happens in this spot. And then and then she gave me like wrote down a bunch of different spots to like check out for comedy. And even then I still didn't check it out. And then I just kept showing up whenever she would like book me to perform. I would just show up and do my thing then. And after a year, she's like, have you tried any of your spots? It's like she's like, you should really take comedy very seriously. Like honestly, I wouldn't have started doing it if it wasn't for Susie. Like she's like, you got to try this shit out. And then after like a year and a half went by, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try this shit. This shit's pretty dope. And that's been my story, man.
Shout out Susie.
Shout out
Susie, man.
It's like the fucking sickest rooms. Yo, that room was sick. I missed that.
Amazing.
What's your favorite venue to perform at, bro?
Oh man.
In Vancouver.
Vancouver? Oh man, I was Susie till I die, man. I love Susie's room. The Susie's room makes warriors. That's what it does. Because if you're not confident in what you do or confident in what you say, that room exposes weaknesses.
Yes, I've been there.
You know, because comics like to
How
go
many
in
times
there.
you performed there?
A few times. No, I'm just saying the exposing weaknesses. I've been there.
yeah.
I've been standing there.
Exposes
So
you.
you performed there too?
Yeah.
It exposes you. It's not a light room, bro. It's for trained professionals, man. Like
If you do comedy, you perform at Susie's room, like for the most part. What would you say about Goldie's? How do you feel about
oh
Goldie's?
my goodness, man. I call it the golden era, man. Goldie's was just a gem. It was beautiful.
It doesn't exist anymore?
It doesn't exist, man.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to bring up fucking the one that happens on Sundays. What's that called? The open
12
mic
Kings?
on Sunday. Yeah. What do you think about
Jesus
12 Kings?
Christ. If a comic was to die and go to hell, that's where you would end up. That's So 12 Kings is oh my god.
That was one of my first times performing. You know that comedy? Justin Nichols was like, yo, there's a big show. Like, it's going to be a bunch of comedians, so you have to show up. Don't embarrass me. So, I drove from Abbotsford, pulled up. Nigga. I'm telling you, there's a lot of questions in my mind of, like, I don't know.
You guys got to paint the picture for, like, us non-comedians. What's 12 Kings like?
12 Kings? Oh, my God. Okay, if a room could ever be set up, not exactly, especially not for comedy.
It's that room.
Everything in that room is bad. Like, the stage is in the middle of the room in a weird way. Like, to walk to the bathroom, you got to walk past the stage, so there's constant people just walking by. Just think of the person who would be getting drunk on a Sunday night.
There's also pool tables.
There's pool tables and darts. People like, fucking was doing shit. Bro, the kind of energy you would have for a motherfucker who's drunk as shit on a Sunday night is the kind of person you see at these shows.
It's aggressive.
Aggressive as fuck. All dudes. Just pumped up energy.
Low-key alcoholic.
Like, just stumble there for a good time. Like you go to 12 Kings, things isn't going well.
And a lot of comedians go there to get shit off their chest. You get shit off their chest, nigga.
Shit that you don't say anywhere else. This is where hate speech come out. Like this place is the bottom level barrel of comedy.
That's hilarious.
But I've heard that somebody is taking over it and it's better now. But since I've been there, it was just that place definitely made you into a warrior. Like literally, I've been there and people would be yelling at me while I'm on stage, like screaming. Like these niggas aren't even heckling. Heckling is a certain level of respect. Like I seen, bro, real fucking story. A dude was watching porn. Like somebody and walked. Bro, one of the comics were up on stage. Like
this nigga's hard. That's crazy,
bro.
What type of porn was it?
I don't know.
You didn't watch it with him?
I didn't watch it with him. Why would I?
Well, if it's
You didn't pull up a chair?
Yeah, I walked by and I just saw naked people. I'm like, wow, that's
Wow.
That's what's happening.
Kudos
And
to
then
him,
the crazy part is I got on stage and outed him. I outed him. Did not move. He stayed there and finished the shit. He's like,
then they got hyped.
bro, beer mace went out there. Sorry, tear gas or beer? No, beer mace went off one time at the basement while people were performing, and then I can't remember who was on stage, but then someone they made a joke about their throat being itchy. Like, I think this is like around the time COVID was was starting off, but not serious. Remember, if you remember early in COVID, people were like, "Oh yeah, fuck that COVID shit. All these Asians are overreacting."
Yeah,
that
January,
energy.
February.
January, February, around that time. I knew, people were making COVID jokes. They're like, "Oh, my throat's itchy." Next, thing you know, people just start coughing like legit. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
That's how it started.
It's like this. We all got COVID. Oh my god, it's so fast. A lot faster than we thought it was. These niggas were lying.
So what's the other place? Gold's. That place doesn't
Goldie's
exist
shut
anymore?
down.
Goldie's doesn't shut down.
When did it shut down?
Oh, a long time ago. The owner used to partake in some real shady business.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
That's why I met this nigga, yo. It was actually pretty dope. When I was still doing like promoting, when I was starting out to do promoting shit, so like I was just getting off my like overly friendly phase and shit, because like you're just around a bunch of fraudulent shit all the time. And I remember I went to one of the shows and I passed the fuck out on the stairs, like at the bottom, because she used to book me like here every once in a while. I didn't know a lot of other rooms, but once Justin took me to 12 Kings, I wasn't open to trying out a bunch of fucking rooms.
That's a terrible intro.
So I was like, let me just stick to what I know type shit. So I would only go back to that room, and then she booked me one time. I'm like passing out at the bottom of the stairs. I don't remember if it was you, but I think you walked up just to check out my name or some shit like that. And that's when I woke the fuck up, said my name, went up there. I didn't do terrible, and then like I was so surprised. I'm like at the top of the stairs, and this nigga was like, "Yo," ran up just to like grab my Instagram and be like, "I'm down to book you again. Like if you're ever down to like go up again, blah blah blah." And I was surprised because I'm like, it's just so random, it's so odd and shit. But then I realized also we're like the only black people out here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a while to realize he's actually like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like, this thing is hilarious, man. Those were the nights where Susie had me hosting shows, hosting like the open mic, and man, these shows were like 30 people deep. At that time, I was so excited to do it. Looking at it now, I don't think I could do that in me no more, man. Like, these shows were running from like 8 p.m. till 12 at night.
You were doing a lot, man.
Bro.
At a certain point, you and Susie were basically running that room, no?
Yeah, we were running that room.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it just made life a lot easier for her. Like, if she didn't have to worry about booking songs specifically. So 2 Thursdays in a month, it was my job to host that 30 deep open micers. And I would sit and watch those. Oh, God, those were so long, man. Oh, my God.
Like comedy's basically just like going a bit like a different bunch of basketball courts and just running.
Improving yourself.
Improving yourself.
Coach picks you up, or coach realizes.
You go to Bonzer, you go here, you go there.
Exactly.
You know who those are.
You
So you want to pick those niggas up first.
That's right.
Exactly.
They're on the court longer than everybody else.
Exactly. You want to run with them. You know, that's when you do shows together. Do runs, book you on the show. That's exactly how it is. And that's the thing, man. If you trash, man, oh man.
It's tough, man.
Everybody knows you're trash, and yeah, including yourself. You know you're trash. It is competitive though. Like comedy.
It is.
It's like, man, I love comedy, man.
It
Cause
has to be competitive, or else you're not going to bring the best out of you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see him do it, you're like, I got to fucking kill it worse than him.
Exactly.
You know what
I
I'm
love
saying?
watching niggas be vulnerable, yo. Like that shit's like, because I think that's really where comedy starts from, in my opinion. Like, I know there's a lot of like the fancy writing of like it's like, yeah, yo, you wrote this crazy, but like I think like where you even started being funny as people is like when you're a kid, a lot of that shit is just you being vulnerable and just like, you know what I mean? So
Telling
like when
your
I watch
story.
other niggas be vulnerable, for me right away I pay the fuck attention. Like, that's why I like going to this dude's shows, yo. You could actually pay attention to his growth, yo. Like you're bringing up Goldies. I'm like, yo, I don't know if it makes sense to you niggas when we're talking about it right now, or I'm talking about it right now, when I brag about this nigga, but I hope you understand when niggas were flying in to Vancouver, like as comedians to like try out shit, because at some point the scene is booming up, and at some point people were also watching him and being like, I could do that shit too, so they're flying here. Bro, people were walking into Goldies talking to Susie being like, yo, I want the Ola treatment. First time meeting her, bro. Which some people could look. I said right away. I told them right away because I'm like, yo, I don't know if you know these niggas like that, but for me, that's either crazy like stupidity because you haven't proven yourself at all, or it's just crazy confidence. But regardless, they're talking about this nigga on like what the standard type shit. You know what I mean? Like people were flying in and they didn't even speak to the man like that, blah, 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 but like they heard of him and it was like, yo, they went to because Susie, since they built each other up like this, everybody looked at Susie, put this nigga on her back and did everything for him. But it's like, bro, he did a lot of work, bro. Like
people don't understand the service behind that because, you know, like not only do I love comedy. Exactly. They just want to reap the benefits, but they don't want, everyone wants to lead, but nobody wants to follow. They don't want to serve, bro.
Yeah, this nigga was talking the other day about like your period of service.
Yeah, man. And like I asked Susie because she was like, oh, like this is what I need. I'm like, hey, listen, I got you. Like and plus another thing, like again, Jem, if you're a comic watching this, very important. You need to learn how to market yourself. You know what I mean, like who at the end of the day, the bottom line is money. How much money are you pulling in? You know what I mean? If you're hilarious, fuck it, awesome. Who wants to see you laugh? who wants to watch you make them laugh. You know what I mean? When I start off Susie's room, bro, like again, I enter Susie's room, bringing 15 people in there. How many comics? A lot of comics. You can't pull 15 people.
Yeah.
That's insane to say. 15 is light.
I feel
and
you,
15 is as easy as just literally going out there and inviting people, bro.
For sure.
You have to be marketable.
Yeah.
You know, you can't if you can't make it anywhere if there's not a market for you.
Yeah.
You know, so I was doing that, and I was before I even started getting paid for comedy, I was bringing an audience to these shows.
And that doesn't even stick with just comedy. That's
Yeah,
like
with
any
anything,
everything,
bro.
Yeah.
Any profession.
That's nice. You got a lot of good practice in without even knowing
Yeah.
it.
I was gonna say that.
Comedians will come up and be like, "Oh, I'm not getting this. Or I'm not getting this spot. I'm not getting this, bro." I'm like, bro, why should they give it to you?
What do you bring?
There's so many funny people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of funny people in this world. The separator for why I book you versus not is, listen, are you marketable? Do you literally post on social media? Like, do you have a media presence?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you get what I'm saying? You have to be a certain crazy level of hilarious to not afford a social media page. And that's people like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is not on social because he
put that
doesn't need to.
groundwork in when social media wasn't even
But
a thing
even
like
When
that.
it wasn't a
Yeah.
thing, he's a notable brand. You can't. What kind of comic is coming out now in 2022?
I hear that.
With no social media presence, and you think they're gonna fucking make it? You're delusional.
Unless you're flying around every week.
Bro,
I'm saying?
I've
Like,
been talking about TikTok for, I can't even tell you. Okay, we're not even.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I watch this guy's TikTok.
my haters are alive. My enemies, man.
I've been talking to this guy about TikTok for like the past 3 years.
I'm gonna just hold it like this.
3 years.
You're not on TikTok, and you're a videographer.
3 years. When I fucking first got on. I got on July of 2019. So that's like fucking 8 months before the pandemic even started. And that's light. Bro, I'm telling you. I was like, dude, I'm like, Stanley.
Same for him,
I'm telling
too.
You know what, Stanley? You don't want TikTok. I want TikTok. We can work together here.
That's right.
See,
There
I'll
you
create
go.
the content, you record.
That's
you don't like
right.
TikTok anyways.
You don't have to show your face, nothing.
You have to say, you just be right there with a microphone.
I'm telling you, man, it was so easy. I'd be putting up the stupidest videos, and it's like 150,000 views. And you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I lost the track of the importance of TikTok because, like, I watched your shit too, and I watched it grow significantly.
Yeah.
And I was on a wave where my shit was growing.
Yeah.
And my brain was like, man, what the fuck is the point of this shit? Man?
I know.
And I just stopped.
No.
I stopped TikToking. I
My
was like,
buddy stopped too, and he went from, I think it took him like 2 weeks. He made one video. It was, he's one of his best friends is a
Yeah.
police officer. This was the video. It was so fucking stupid. Okay, one of his best friends is a police officer. He was waiting for him. I think they're going for lunch or something. They're just
Yeah.
meeting in a parking lot. So he's sitting in his truck, and as he sees his friend coming in the police car, he's playing Bad Boys, Bad Boys. So it's just him, and the cop car just comes, pulls up, and he just zooms on his face, and he's like a good-looking guy, and he's just playing that song in the background. That fucking video got like 450,000 views.
jeez.
And he fucking went from like no followers to like 11,000, and he fucking stopped. And this was like 2 years ago. I was
Yeah.
like, bro, why would you stop, man?
Yeah.
Because once it's gonna get to a point where it's Instagram, where everyone's gonna be on it. Everyone's gonna be like, well, I'm
It's so
posting,
difficult.
I'm doing. You even see niggas doing it now. I know
Now,
niggas that
yeah.
are just starting to post on Instagram consistently now. I'm like, bro, it's way too late.
Not
Way
really,
too late.
actually.
No, Instagram's way too late.
No, man.
Andrew Packer.
Well, reels, yeah, no.
The reason-
If you're doing
okay.
reels and you're like, it's something that
Yeah.
brings
Let me
somebody
tell
in.
you why it's not too late. I'll say it's more difficult now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot different. Yeah.
It's a lot difficult, but like there's like certain things that you can do that, again, that your post you will become viral.
Yeah.
Because to say that is like nobody ever makes it after now. Like the gates is closed.
Reels won't. If you're not doing reels,
Yeah.
reels won't. Like
Yeah.
reels will go viral. Anything other than if you're
Yeah.
just doing pictures and stuff, shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you clarify, it makes sense because when you said that, I'm like, technically, then we shouldn't even have had our shit out there.
Yeah,
By
facts.
that standard.
Because I mean, if you're doing simple things, that's literally posting every day. The reason like it's important to post every day is because then people have that expectancy to see that you're going to provide content.
For sure.
And also, when you provide content, you need to make sure this content is actually quality content. Because I mean, yeah, as
Quality's
long as you're not
subjective,
it's
but-
quality to if you believe it's good. Because deep down, you know if it's good or not. But you also need to be okay putting that shit out. Because motherfuckers will overproduce shit.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like put a decent amount of work and put that shit out.
100%.
My problem was I kept creating shit, but I was too shy to put it out.
Yeah.
And now people think that, oh, now I'm putting out more stuff.
That's
But I know there's a
90%
lot
of
of,
people.
exactly, a lot of people just don't put their shit out.
Yeah.
Put it out, and if you're consistent with it, I believe at a certain point, it's just slow and steady, bro. Again, people are expecting 1 million all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You can literally take years, and you can actually. There's another approach. You can grow it slowly.
Yeah.
Like you can go viral, or you can just build that fan base years after year.
And people are so, I don't know what it is. They're like, you're not that important, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you put this out and it sucks, everybody's not talking about how it sucks. People
Exactly.
look at it and just swipe and move on to the next one.
That's what's
no
up.
one gives a
That's what's
fuck
up.
if your shit's. But if it's good, now everyone's like, oh shit, look at this.
Yeah.
But people are like, it's ridiculous, man. I'm like, you're not that important, man.
It's true. My buddy told me something. Andrew Packer. This guy is a phenom. And by the way, this guy blew up in the last year.
On Instagram.
On
too.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I watched it
YouTube's
happen.
a fucking-
Bro, 100K on YouTube.
Yeah, see?
100K subscribers on YouTube. Shout out to that dude.
That's how you get that little plaque.
This guy, he gave me a lot of gems, and that's the stuff I'm applying in what I'm doing right now. And like, consistency is very important. And what he told me that changed my life in terms of putting content out, every content you put out, TikTok, Instagram, even YouTube, bro, shelf life, 24 hours.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's out there. People like it, enjoy it. 24 hours, it's done.
I was telling you that about the reels. I was saying that to
Done.
him the other day. I was like, dude, like we'll put a reel out. It'll get like 5,000 views, and then it'll just stop.
Yeah.
Within like 15, like it'll be like 12, 15 hours, and then it'll just stop. No more views ever
Yeah.
again.
But then
So, like, you
sometimes it
gotta
comes
keep
back
going.
and keeps growing.
That's
But
yeah, TikTok does that
Yeah.
for sure. TikTok does that all the fucking time.
It's-
I'll just have a post from like 2 weeks ago, and then it fucking gets another like 30,000 views.
YouTube Shorts are like that too.
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts are, again, if you're not on YouTube Shorts, you need to get on it. This is the TikTok that you missed.
Yeah.
This is the TikTok that get on that shit now.
I
Yeah.
gotta bounce, guys. Unfortunately.
Hey, yo, this has been awesome.
Hey, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? Oh my God. What makes me happy now? Friends. That's something that we never really talked about, like, because of how much I got stuck in grind culture, where like, I mean, at that time I needed to do that, to set the grounds for what I'm doing now.
For sure.
But because of, the grind has freed up literally more time for me to reconnect with my friends again. At least we're Prov, we can actually just chill and hang out on my balcony every once in a while. Like I can text my friend, hey man, what you doing? You trying to hoop today? I can do those things now. Like before I couldn't. If there's anything I'm actually really hopeful for, it's now that I have more time to obviously do comedy and start to reconnect and hang out with my friends. Like I went canoeing with my niggas recently.
I saw that. That was funny as hell, bro.
I still gonna put the video out this
Damn.
week. That also killed me.
canoeing.
We went canoeing. The most stressful experience of our life.
Saw a bear?
Like, we saw a bear. Like, who sent us to go canoeing? No, the guy didn't even tell us how to canoe. Nothing. Listen, there's technique that goes to canoeing, bro. We're canoeing in circles, my nigga.
You know what's funny? It's because I know your friends too. So just seeing
Yeah,
the niggas
it
you
was
went
just-
with, I was just like,
It was
oh
silly.
my gosh.
Just we're all stupid, all of us, collectively.
It's crazy, and like you're probably putting in more work now than you were before. Yet you have more time to hang out with your friends.
Yeah. I have way more time. It's not even that I wasn't putting work to hang out with my friends.
No. I'm saying like you like at TD and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
had
yeah.
obligations.
I had obligations.
But now you're putting in more effort and more time into your comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
And in turn, it allows you to, somehow frees up your time to
It
connect
does.
with your friends.
You know what I mean? Because then
Crazy.
I don't have to like be working. I just have more time in general, bro.
Yeah, so
like
less stress, too.
I'm a better
Beautiful,
partner
man.
too, because like now
Yes.
I can like take care of my fiance. We can plan dates. I have to literally have room in my life. I have time for myself, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because before, like, I would hang out with so many people where I wouldn't even have time for just sit down and chill because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I haven't seen this person. I haven't done this for this person. I haven't called my mom. But like, I think the most important thing is out of everybody, like outside of just even my friends, I literally just have time to just sit down and just,
That's big.
it's nice,
That's big,
bro.
yeah.
Like
Man,
that's
you need
something
that.
I'm really grateful for now.
Yeah.
Dope,
But yeah,
man.
man.
Happy
Thanks for
you,
having
bro.
me.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
We're excited to see your growth, man. There's so
man.
much more left for you, bro.
Hey man, there's always so more. Like I'm so against the word "I made it" because that's complacency.
Yeah.
You made it where? Where you going? Life is still going. Are you dead, nigga? Where you made it to?
Thanks for coming, man. We'll definitely have you on again. Yardie.
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, thank
Hey,
you.
we got a
Family,
show
dog.
coming up, man.
We're gonna make people disappear.
Yeah. When's the
Yes.
show? Tell them about the show.
We're blowing in people's faces.
Yay!
Where's
What?
the show? When's the show?
What we doing to people's?
I saw him in the video. He did this.
Pause.
Oh yeah, that was fucking wild.
You
That
know,
was
to be fair,
I might- yeah, I
I
knew he
was
brushed
just
his teeth
about to
before
say,
that, for sure. Yeah, we'll cut that.
yeah.
I know.
I was just about to say, this is the first episode probably hadn't said anything wrong, and then he just said that, so I take
Bro,
it back.
bro, we literally had a phone call like 2 days ago where this nigga was like, "Why did you have to say that?"
I mean, first of all, I've actually had a bone to pick with you, Stanley. You need to stop like recording this nigga's dick. Stop recording, and also his dick, because both videos are just like,
His is all like bulged up.
That's like, yo,
This nigga be doing
extra thick.
and then
He sits like this. He sits like this. He sits like this.
when he's getting excited, he'll start licking his lips. So be careful. Be careful. He'll do one of these. He's like, no, because his mouth is watering. He's got to get it all. He'll be like, he's trying to catch it all so it doesn't drip out. That's what. And this nigga loves to do this. Loves to like this. Do it like, you know.
This nigga's been watching me. This nigga's been watching me.
That's so true, bro.
That's when you gotta slow the conversation down just a little bit of a problem.
You know what I love about rewatching the videos? Is this nigga's eyes the whole time. I'll be saying some shit. He'll look in the camera. He's like, yeah.
I'm always looking at Stanley. I'm like, you co-signing this shit?
Imagine how I feel because I see it real time, and then I'm editing. Dude, the number of times I'm just sitting at home and I'm literally like, I'm just dying by myself.
You guys editing that shit, just dying laughing.
Dude, the other day I was in a coffee shop. People thought I was crazy because he was just saying some wild shit. I was like, bro.
I just watched that
I
compilation.
watched your shit, bro.
Yeah, you see that? I'll show you the
There's something we're gonna be
compilations.
close to. At the very end, I said some shit where we all paused. It goes quiet, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I just said that. That's crazy. I'm like, yo, I laughed so hard because I forgot saying that.
That shit was so funny.
Yo, November 9th. If you
November
wanna look
9th.
like us,
Yes.
If you want to look like us,
Yes.
be there or be square. I didn't say be
Bro.
My bad, yeah, I was just saying.
It's your boy.
This is your man's.
Ooh, I got
Hey,
round up. I
man.
got
I
round
didn't
up.
really notice that.
Yeah.
He's from Abbotsford.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's bounce.
Love,
All
love,
right,
love.
bro.